What's going on, folks? We are here. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We are here for another episode of Live Trading. Thanks for joining us. I don't have the board, so I can't play the intro. So I'm just going to say it. Let's go out and get those chicken dinners.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher.
Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part? It's beatable.
What's going on, folks? Thank you, producer, for helping me with the intro. I thought I was going to have to recite that whole thing from memory, and I started to get all nervous and clammy, but thank you for saving me. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. We are going to try and make some money. We are still waiting on Mitch. I'm sure he will join us, but of course, YOLO Z up in the house, still on the road. Zunaid, how is it going this morning? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I'm about to make the cardinal sin of trading from my bet. So if I lose money, that's why. So we're blaming it on
don't
that.
ever mix the market and your bet. I know from experience that was a bad day, but we ain't going to talk about it. Zunaid, good luck. I'm glad that you gave us that little disclaimer there. What I would like you to do, if possible, just before we started here, I was actually recording a podcast with some other teammates here. So if I don't have any lines drawn on any of my charts yet, cardinal sin, I know, but if you wouldn't mind, would you mind starting with some of your charts here?
Let's do it. So yeah, let's talk about Apple here yesterday. We talked about the 140 on Apple. Let me just go full screen on this bad boy. We talked about the 140 on Apple, right? And you can see it worked out really well for the first 30 minutes. You got those beautiful bounces, and then it finally cracked. Once it reclaimed, we were able to get all the way back up to 145. So now what am I kind of looking for? I'm looking to see if we can break the 146 level. So I'm going to go ahead and set an alert right there on Apple. See if we can go ahead and break that. If we can go ahead and break the 146 to the upside, you can see resistance here on the left. Pre-market couldn't pop above it. Couldn't do it again a little bit later in pre-market as well. So that's kind of the level to keep an eye on if you're trying to go to the upside on that. So let's talk about the Qs. We said 300 was something where we wanted to go short. That worked out really well in terms of a swing. And then yesterday, of course, the bouncers were around the 290 level to play the short side. You can see the resistance pop there, and you can see the resistance here as well. But obviously, we're over that now. So what do I believe will happen? My uneducated guess will say is that we will try to go ahead and test 300. But then what happens once we get to 300? Do we try to pop above it? Do we continue going down a little bit? I personally will go ahead and grab some puts as soon as we get to about 299.70, give or take. And of course, I'll get same day expirations because I want this to reject and give us maybe a point or two is what I'm hoping for. My stop loss will be about 301. So I'm risking about a point for point, hoping for a little bit more on that one there. And let's go to the SPY here. SPY, same thing, except instead of 300, 400. Wouldn't be surprised if we try to test it. So that's that. But I like to play the Qs more than the SPYs today, I believe. And then, of course, let's talk about Hood. You had a company go ahead and invest in them. So you had a nice, beautiful pop. Would not be surprised if this goes ahead and tries to just test 100 to be cute. And then we kind of try to make our march over 1150. So on Thinkorswim, actually, when Ryan talks about his stocks, I'm going to set some alerts to go ahead and buy. So I'm actually just going to set some orders to go ahead and buy around 1010, 1004, and then 1001 to kind of scale in properly. And then my stop loss will be about 940. I want to say could be my stop loss on that one on Hood. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on. And then, of course, you've got Coinbase. I can't believe that Coinbase at one point was below 50. And I didn't get a chance to play it. Which was obviously yesterday. Wasn't paying attention to this one, but now it's all the way up to the 68 level. So keeping an eye on this to see if we get a retest of 60. You can see it was resistance here on the left-hand side around 11 o'clock yesterday. If we come and test 60, I'd be interested in it. But we'll see what happens with Coinbase, and I'll keep you guys posted. And, of course, if I see any options that are coming through that look a little unusual, especially on the weeklies, we'll look to donate some money to the market that way as well.
All right, awesome. It looks like Mitch made it. Mitch, couple of things. First of all, I'm glad that you made it this morning. Second of all, congratulations on your Heat. They absolutely dominated the 76ers. I mean, and I
Guess
mean,
who made money last night, baby?
And third of all, unbelievably clutch. We're talking Michael Jordan clutch levels playing that intro. This while I was trying to get us live here, I legitimately thought I was going to try to have to do the entire thing myself, and I was starting to panic. So the fact that you saved me like that, my man, coming in big this morning.
Always. Where's that Embiid fan out there, man? Let's just say he wasn't playing that good yesterday.
Before you start smack talking everyone and scaring our viewers away, I'm going to go ahead and lay out with some of the charts here. I do want to address a couple of things here. First of all, thank you for the warm welcome, everybody. Julie, Jessica, Shelly, thank you very much for welcoming here today. Shelly asked, Ryan, are you going to be at the FinTwit conference next year? Shelly, first of all, I'm really disappointed that I was unable to make it this year. I am going to be pounding the table every single day to go next year. Hopefully we end up doing it. Your second question, will you bring Buddy? Buddy doesn't travel well. I don't think I would ever consider getting on an airplane with that cat. And if I had to watch him while trying to work at a conference, I would probably have a heart attack. So I'm going to go ahead and say, no, I'm not going to do that. Miss Whitehorse, good morning to you as well. Now, let's talk about some stocks here today. I had a boosted caffeine coffee today. I can taste verbs. So we are going to go ahead and get rolling. We're going to start here with Hood, which is where Zunaid left off. He mentioned that the CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, had taken a 7.6% stake in the company. That obviously popped the stock here. We have some pretty well-defined levels. This stock has actually appeared on the relative volume scanner in the past and has performed on some of those pops. This stock also likes to pop on gigantic option sweeps. So I absolutely think this is going to be in play today. I basically did the same type of analysis that I normally do, marking off some of these different highs and lows, near-term highs and lows, and we'll see what's going on. This one should be plenty liquid. There's option contracts. I think this is definitely going to be in the cards here today. Also, want to give a shout out to Trevor Jones, who has been joining us quite a bit. You named 3 other stocks that I absolutely believe are going to be in play. Excuse me. Let's start with Affirmed. Anyone that's been watching me for the past couple of months knows that I am calling for 10 prints on Affirmed. I still stand by that. However, yesterday we got better than expected Q3 EPS and sales results. And like I've been saying, stocks that are incredibly beaten down, if they put in any type of good print, which can include EPS, sales results, and or guidance, of course, they put in any type of good print. They like to bounce, and they like to bounce ferociously. That's what I think that you're happy. That's what I think you're seeing in Affirmed. Real quickly, shout out to the Benzinga Pro chat community, because last night, while the market was still open, there was an active discussion on how to trade Affirmed earnings. And one of the Benzinga Pro traders suggested opening up a straddle. And as soon as he said that, I was like, we talked about it for a little bit more. I loved the idea of a straddle. Straddles, for all of you that don't play them, these are normally touchdowns or turnovers, to borrow the football metaphor. And all you really need is a move of about 15%. We have a gigantic move going on here in Affirmed. Those straddles are absolutely going to be in the money and are going to pay nicely today. So shout out to the Benzinga Pro chat community, really seasoned traders in there. Given their thought process, they gave this trade before the market even closed. So anyone could have followed along if they want. Now, looking forward to today, we're clearly strong this morning. We're trading on pretty good volume here as well. We've got some levels that are appropriately defined. Again, the best possible plan here would be a pullback towards that 24 handle. Find some footing, a little bit of sideways trading, and then volume expansion taking us to and through the highs. That would be how I'd want to play this. We will see. However, I still think long term this may end up going back down towards a 10 handle. So pops might be another opportunity to enter long-term short positions or short via options, of course, using puts. So Affirm definitely going to be in play today. The other one here in play is going to be Veru, right? This is actually one that we've traded quite a bit. Cool thing about this is that this 11.11 line, right where this price stopped, we had drawn that days ago. Because these levels work, it went right there, stopped, pulled back, going right back to 11.11. This clearly the spot here. Let's see what happens at that 11.11 handle when the market is open. I also wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a pullback out of the open, but again, if it finds some footing, we should be good to go. And then the last one here is going to be Mullen, right? This is the Mullen Automotive and Electric Car Maker. We've got some volume here this morning. Got some. It looks like they were doing earnings, right? Yep. Earnings here looking good. Market's liking them. This is trading up and giving us a tradable situation here. I just cleared off all my lines like a dummy. Sorry about that. Basically, high of day here to watch is 113. We're also going to be watching the level 2 and seeing where those offers stack up. As soon as the market opens, we're going to flip over to the scanner. Mitch, I'm sorry for babbling so much. Go ahead with the stocks that you have, my man.
Your stock sounds more exciting than mine, so I'm not going to stress too much about it. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what I'm looking at. First, I got to go through the swing trades, right? I still have them on, right? So we still got Mara. We're in from 1181s. Today, we could get very much stopped out above the 1160s. That's really where I would think it could come towards 12. And we're not going to let it go into the red. But we're not going to just sell out today because there's just no point. At this point, like we were all the way down here. And if we go ahead and we just sell right now, we're going to be taking a very, very small profit on the last little bit of shares. And that's not what I do. When I go to swing trade, I'm trying to make big gains off small share size, guys. Why? Because this gives me that advantage to really extend my maximum profit. I can talk about this with Lucid more because I feel like Lucid was definitely more of that stock. It went down there towards 14 and we took some profit down there. Not going to be mad at where we've taken profits on Lucid, but we're also going to let this one work. Because what we're really trying to do is extend that last little bit of share count to get us a maximum gain there. So a lot of times I will let those shares come back, even break even. I'm not going to let them go in the red, but I will let those last little bit of shares go further down. And this is the reason why. Because you're going to hear a lot of people tell you that you should add to winners and cut the losers. Well, I don't agree with that statement. First of all, just to kind of state that. And the biggest reason why I don't agree with that statement is because whenever I've added to winners, this stuff like this has happened. So like if I would have added to Lucid like yesterday or even the day prior, I would have been right now into the red. And this is why I don't like adding to the winners. So what I like to do more along is hold that last little bit of shares to work for me, to let the stress go of the trade. Be break even on the rest. It is okay to do this. At least from my statistical data, this is how I've gotten the biggest wins. I just let that original position work and not get so scared out on the volatility of action like this. Because we very much could easily be back down to 14 today. So we'll see what happens there on Lucid. I'll keep watching stocks here at the open. Of course, what am I watching today? Leadership, guys. So we did get a bounce yesterday. But if we take a look, Apple barely came back into the green at the close yesterday. And it was looking really weak here all morning long. And it did close into the green. So we're going to keep on watch on those levels. Do we break back down towards the 141 level on Apple? If that happens, I don't think this is the bottom. But if we just start getting a rip of Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and they just start ripping through the roof right out the gates, yeah, we could very much have the bottom. So one of the things that we want to do is kind of be more reactionary today to see what happens. For me, I'm not so certain that this is the bottom. I think this is just kind of, we could even get a rally today where it could rally to like maybe 400. And then eventually come all the way back down and break through the 385 level that we had yesterday. So remember, every time that we've washed down, we've also had bounces. It doesn't mean that it's always the bottom. You can see here, wash out, bounce, wash out, bounce, wash out, bounce, wash out. Now we're getting another bounce. Is this the bounce that keeps us going up? We'll have to pay attention. But remember, it could also just go to 400, maybe even up to this trend line here. You see, maybe you get up there towards, let's say, like 402, and then eventually comes right back down to 390s. So to me, I'm not going so far into calling this the bottom, but I will pay attention to some of the dash for trash trades that were trading yesterday. So many names made a huge, nice little push back. Roku, Coin, let's just talk about Coin. That was definitely a dash for trash, but also this stock has been getting drilled on the downside. So it could have just been that you were in oversold territory and you got a technical bounce. We'll see what happens in the market. Is this the bottom? Is it not? We'll see what happens there. Twitter got destroyed, guys, and I'm so happy I sold this at 49 and didn't fight my technicals there. I felt it was trading really technical into that moment right here where we cracked the 49 and we didn't want to hold the 38.2% retracement. After that point, it looked like it was starting to break down. And today we get news of what? Well, it was yesterday, but Elon talking about how, he wants to make sure that the spam and bot accounts don't make up more than 5% of the traffic that you're seeing on Twitter. And I think he might find out. It might be a little bit higher than that. So if you guys see some bots today, if you're bullish Twitter, you might not want to report them. If you're bearish Twitter, you might want to report them today. We'll see what happens on out there if Twitter keeps coming on down here. We know how much spam and bots there is out there on Twitter. So we'll see. It does look weak here. Does it recover? I don't know, but I think if the market goes up, you could see Twitter come and recover. If the market goes down, definitely watch out for Twitter. Let's go, guys. Let's see what
Veru on the open, right on the relative volume scanner. First move on Veru is up.
All right, let's
first
go ahead
move
and
on
set
Affirm
some
is
orders.
up.
Let's set some protection orders on Mara.
First move on Coin is up. By the way, pretty awesome timing. I've been saying that a Coin 10 bagger from here when the stock was 55, we're already printing 70s. So we'll see where we're at.
You're a brave soul going for that one.
I don't have a position. I have not. Let's put it this way, Mitch. I have not put my money where my mouth is, but definitely bullish on Coin.
Oh, I hear you.
I hear real quick on the hood buys here at 10.05. I'm gonna go ahead and sell some half size here at 10.25 out just to get that 20 cent. And of course, if it retests it, I'll be okay buying a little bit more, but not as much as my original size. But out 20 cent gains on the hood scalping. Oh, sorry. I'm on my E-Trade selling this stuff. My bad. I'm trying to figure out the Luna story. I think when I go home on my flight, I will go ahead and figure out what the hell happened with that. I hope everyone... that just sounds terrible. With Luna, I'm saying I don't know what happened with that one, but my social media is all Luna. I have no idea what's going on with that.
So there's a reason. There's a reason that I stay away from the shit coins, as they call them.
Luna went to zero.
Well, let's see that. But I'm just curious as to why it did. I know that part.
Oh, because it was pegged to the stable coin, which should have kept it near that $1, but it got destroyed after that. And then they tried to save it, but they couldn't. They essentially they just let it go. And then you saw platforms really just start saying like, no, we're not going to keep this on our platform. And that right there is more of a shake than I think anything. It just goes to show you that you have to understand what you're getting into. I think too many people do not understand crypto. And all they do is they just go off of what everybody else is talking about. Do your research, understand what you're getting into, understand your risk.
If it was pegged, do you know what went wrong? And by the way, I'm still paying attention to stocks here. I'm waiting for the Qs to possibly test 300. I'm being a little patient here. I also am looking to buy calls if it wants to test 295, but it's bounced from 295.50. So not quite interested in it that much. Still holding on to half size of hood. Again, stop loss is about 940 for me. It is currently under VWAP, so I'm hoping for it to get above VWAP, and then we can take some off at about 1040 and then hopefully ride some to 11.
All right, taking a look at to see if we get that dash for trash to continue, right? I mean, we're getting a little bit of it right now, a little bit of a pop here. I'm seeing some names up significantly, but the SPY is trending on the downside here. Hasn't really broke out through the 397 here. I'm trying to see if it goes to 400, or do we start breaking down here in the SPY and get some tests down on the downside?
Also, can
Zunaid, I lost you there, my
Yeah, I
friend.
was going to say, it looks like we lost him there.
That's that
I like
sweet
how-
internet.
I like how he's frozen, though. He's got a pretty hilarious frozen face going
Let's
on.
see.
Right
Let's see. Let's check it
now.
out.
Full screen, the frozen face. Let's go, baby.
Oh,
My
he's
bad.
back. He's back.
That hotel Wi-Fi, baby. That hotel Wi-Fi.
Let's
No,
go,
I'm saying,
let's go,
could you,
let's go.
Hotspot it. Cannot believe.
could you,
don't
Mitch, could you give me access to the view count in the comments, please?
I don't know if I can. No, I'll check though.
All right,
I think
thanks.
I should. Nah, just playing. Here you go, bro. Guests can see viewer comments. Boom, you should be seeing it now.
I see it now. Yeah, thanks.
All right, Tesla coming on down here. That's what I'm watching too. And what did I talk about? I said watch Apple, guys. Apple is going to be my indicator. Look how Apple's going straight down here from the open, giving me signs of concern that this could easily just flip right back down. Beyond Meat, I actually shorted yesterday and made some good money going into the close there. At least I covered all of it and made some good money on that one. Yesterday, we killed AMC on the upside. So there was some really good money made yesterday. So I'm trying to be patient today. A lot of that money made yesterday was after 10:30. So just to kind of mention that, I'm going to be trying to build a little bit slower here and then make my decisions. I want to see what happens in the SPY here. Do we just start breaking on back down? Leadership coming on down there. Tesla coming on down there. Google, let's take a look at the Goog coming on down there. So right here, this is what I didn't want to see to show me that this is a bullish run. I mean, I think at least for right now, I don't see it right now.
Real quick, do you guys post your trades anywhere? Thanks. Great question. Yes, we post them quite often in the trade ideas within Benzinga Pro. You will see a lot of our staff in here, as well as Anne-Marie Band, professional trader, by the way. Big shout out to Anne-Marie Band. She's amazing. But yes, we do post them in the trade ideas tool in Benzinga Pro. If you guys have not tried or do not use Benzinga Pro, what are you doing with your life? Please go ahead and try it. It's free, 14 days. This is the premier tool that has helped me remain solvent and become a profitable trader. And you get trade ideas within this tool. Great question.
My risk reward here on this hood trade isn't as great, so I'm going to go ahead and stop out at
Short
979.
Short Twitter, guys, off 40.75. Going to take a quick trade here. Try to see if it holds 40.75 on the downside. On any pop backs, we don't want it to back above 40.75s. So right now I got in there at 40.48. Trying to get to 40.50s, but it went down 2 ticks, but I'm not mad about that. Risk right here is about 25 cents. So understand that. I'm looking for a move right back down there through 40s, coming towards the 39s.
I was slow on the screen switch, Mitch. Sorry about that.
You're good, bro. Not a worries. I mean, it was a quick trade. We'll see what happens there. I'm just going to be... This is a lower size trade early here at the beginning just to see if we get a wash down, because, I mean, if it washes down Twitter, it's going to be probably a big washout to like 38, 36. So let's see what happens here. If it pops above 40.75, I'll just get out.
Watching Mullen here. Mullen crossing below the $1 handle. I think a move back through one could be on deck here.
I think a lot of people are leaning bullish here, so we'll see what happens today.
Veru, by the way, got a $55 price target here from Jeffries, so keep that in mind.
Getting a test here. Just going to see if it just washes right back down below 40.80s here.
I'm going to go ahead and take a shot here at 145 Apple calls expiring today. Got filled at 114. 145 Apple calls got filled at 114.
Out there, Twitter. Pushed a little bit too much on this 1 minute. I wanted it to close because it could just wick here and then get right back down below that. But not going to push it today, at least for the first start of the trade. It's okay to just take a quick loss and then just reassess, see what you're seeing in the overall market, and see if we can catch a bigger type move here. SPY coming back there through the 397s to the 397.50. We'll see if this really starts pushing. 400 is where we'll start seeing some real like lift. So I'm trying to see here what happens and just be patient.
Real quick, Jessica saying, do you think that normal stocks will look like the crypto chart if they become tradable 24/7? I don't think normal stocks will become tradable 24/7, but there's no telling what the pajama traders are going to do to those charts in the after hours. Remember, after hours trading rules are a lot different. There's no halts. There's often a lot less volume. So tough to say. I would say that nothing is really going to look like crypto charts exactly, but I would imagine that they would be skewed, although I don't think that's going to happen.
I bought some more calls on the 145 Apple. Again, these are going to be a riskier trade, but I'm in. Also on the, I'm going to go ahead and sell another leg here at 1029. Got filled at 1029 on the out. So I'm going to see if I can just get a pop above 1050s.
Mullen back through one. We'll see if it can hold and push.
SPY right back to the VWAP.
Yeah, on this Apple, I'm trying to front run the VWAP cross a little bit, but it is what it is.
All right, guys. Later today, we'll be having Thomas J, the founder and chairman and managing member of Great Hill Capital, joining us a little bit later today, guys. So stay around. We'll have some great expert conversations later on in the day. He's not the only one. I'm trying to get some more traders on too. So just stick around, guys. We'll definitely talk about it. All right, SPY right back down there below. Cracked below VWAP for a second. Just did a wick right back up there. So we'll see what happens here. I think the 397 spot's very important. We come back down here and we take out 396 on the downside. Watch out, guys. We could just start seeing some downside capitulation there. Apple coming right back down towards the low of the day there. That just looks weak to me. It looks like a VWAP fade there. Tesla also fading out there. The leadership is not looking strong for me. I know that some people are looking to try to jump on like upside momentum right now. I'm trying to be careful with the upside momentum. We'll see what happens here. Just seeing weakness, at least in Apple and the SPY. It needs to push on up here. Just recovered there, the 397. Let's see if we get to 400. There's definitely some huge volatility when you're getting a 1 minute candle to do about 3 or 4 points there in the SPY. So just be careful out there, guys.
One thing I do want to mention real quick. Yesterday, we had earnings from a company that I've been holding long for a little bit. I don't have a very big position in this. I actually traded it a few times. This is InnoData. This is INOD. And I want to read a couple of things out of the earnings report that I believe are quite important. First of all, I encourage all of you to go through this. Because the numbers here are incredible. I think that this company is going to be a big player in the future. However, there were a couple of things in here that I thought were really awesome. And I think that anyone that goes through earnings reports, you should look for these. Folks, if you guys have a new trade, please interrupt me. I just want to go through some of the language here that I thought was quite interesting. The CEO says, quote, "We are quite pleased with our execution, product validation, and the tailwinds from the growth in our markets. We believe more firmly than ever in blue sky growth opportunities in front of us and remain laser focused on execution and shareholder value creation." Folks, I cannot stress it enough. This is exactly what I want CEOs to say on their earnings calls. When you report good numbers and you have this type of confidence, that's exactly what I want to hear as an investor. So to me, this is really, really bullish. We'll see what the reaction here is today. Just a really great quarter, in my opinion. Great numbers here. And here's another thing that's really positive. Because our book of business is cash generative, we anticipate funding these substantial investments from our internal resources. Based upon current assumptions and expectations, we are budgeting to be cash flow positive by the end of 2022, with significant increase in cash flow expected thereafter. With $15 million of cash and no debt, we do not expect to need external financing to execute our plan. Basically telling you, hey, we've got money on hand. We're not going to raise money. We just put down a badass quarter. I think we're going to be huge in the future. Come get it. And it's just like, this is exactly what I want to hear out of a CEO. I was getting excited reading this last night. So really awesome. I'm not doing anything new here, but add INOD to your watch list. I think that this stock is going to make a pretty huge move over the next several years. Jason, you're asking me. Well, INOD, India, November, Oscar, Delta, INOD.
Someone say India.
Yes, I did.
Taking a look at Apple here. Now it's popping. Those options are now about 127 on the bid. I am going to go ahead and try to sell some at 140. I've already got an order out to sell some at 140. And I've got an order out to sell some at 160. We'll see if it happens or not. Wouldn't be surprised if this tries to tap 145 once again. But of course, SPY has to participate. And again, my hopium says, hey, we are going to go ahead and get a test of 400.
And it looks like
Let us see.
froze. Up, he's back.
I'm sorry, y'all.
No. The hotel Wi-Fi is just absolutely slapping you back and forth. Really quick.
It might be in the bed area, but you go ahead.
Yeah, well, maybe. But while you get that straightened out, I'm going to answer Jessica's question here. Ryan, I just got an email from you after signing up for Benzinga Pro, but you signed it Jonathan alias. No, I don't have any aliases. I'm Ryan. I'm Ryan, Lord Ryan, Faloona, Tuna, whatever it is. That's me. Jonathan and I actually work quite closely, and sometimes we make mistakes on the emails. I would like you to do me a huge favor, though. I would love for you to forward that email to my email address. I'm going to go ahead and post it here in the chat. Please forward that email to me. I will correct it and audit some of the other ones just to make sure we don't throw anybody off with different names. Thanks for pointing that out, though. I'll go ahead and get that corrected.
It looks like Hood did go ahead and touch the 1050s. I unfortunately forgot to set my limit sells, so I did not get filled on the sell side there. Now I will. I have a limit sell on one leg here at 1045. And that's on me.
DRTS halted or resumed, excuse me. Big pop up and resumed. Low volume, though. Laser high. Where's Ron? I'm surprised. Oh, I was just being silly. Don't fire Jonathan. Nobody's firing Jonathan. Jonathan is awesome.
Johnny boy. I don't know why I said it like that, but I did.
Laser call sweeps now, too. Something going on here in laser, by the way.
LAZR?
Yeah.
Or
What's up? What's up?
let's see. LAZR. LAZR.
My favorite LiDAR play.
All right, it's above 10. Oh, okay. Hey, above 10. Stop. You know what? Let me load up my Thinkorswim. I haven't logged in.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite LiDAR play. Needs to come back a lot, though.
Ed, right? You're far from a clown. I can act like a clown if you want me to, no problem. However, after hearing those nicknames, has anyone ever called you Baffoona? Man, you have no. My last name is ripe for coming up with nicknames that poke fun at the other person. Baffoona, Faloona, Cartoona. I mean, just the possibilities are endless. I've heard them all under the book, or I've heard all of the insults under the sun. Excuse me. Again, caffeine, man. Boosted caffeine here today. Yes, I've heard them all. It's one of the reasons that I'm hard. I'll be honest. I'm at the stage now where people on the internet, man, they're just going to say a whole bunch of bad shit. So I don't even care about that. I've had plenty of it. Believe me. I've seen enough of this life to understand stuff like that. No big deal at all.
All right, guys. Looks like growth is pushing there. ARKK starting to push on up there. SE looks good today. That's pushing on up there. I'm just going through what's in ARKK here that is pushing. There's this NVTA that's up, PACB, DNA. Looks like the dash for trash is definitely going on up here. Square pushing on up there. Let's take a look at some other ones here.
Coupang. Look at CPNG, Mitch.
Oh man, that's trashy as it gets. That thing's ripping, man. I remember when Dumb Money like this one.
Man.
This thing has gone down from about $50 now down to 10. So it went down to 9 actually. So we'll see what happens. I mean, there's a lot going on right now. I don't want to be going after these unless I'm just trying to get like these quick little trades in. But it's always up to you guys to determine what you guys want to be trading. Like always, we could be that we're just being a little bit more risk adverse here, and you guys are being risky when you need to. I mean, it definitely looks like a risk on type of day, but I'm just not feeling it so much. I'm just feeling like a little bit trappy on this move here. And I feel like anybody could get washed out. And if they get washed out on these trades, like let's just say there's like a huge downside move in the overall market and these bulls get washed out, that would be the moment that I would be like, okay, yeah, now these bulls, they all thought they got it. They get washed out, then we could be looking at it. But for right now, I'm just kind of watching. I'm just in a watch and wait kind of mode.
Yeah,
On Hood.
Sorry,
I'm just getting rid of another leg here at 1040s on Hood. The rest, I'm going to see if I can get 11, but I'm out on Hood. Another leg here.
Oh, buddy, come here. Did you just announce yourself to the whole group?
Yes. I have to put you on speaker so Hendricks in here. Hendricks has been bothering me all morning long. He was like wanting to be part of pre-market prep. I'm like, dude, you can only be on live trading. You can't be on pre-market prep.
Buddy, he's got an eye. There we go.
Even I'm not on pre-market prep. God damn.
Hey, Jeff Dees, good morning for Las Vegas. Jeff, I hope you're having an absolute blast out there.
Hey!
How is the conference, my man?
Pinky on up. That's what I'm talking about, man. Enjoy that conference, man. Hey, JDs, if you were there, man, I'd be making some money for us so we can go to Hell's Kitchen, but who knows? Maybe Spencer can make that money for you. Take you out to lunch, my friend.
Our Apple calls were up about 37%. Unfortunately, I didn't get it to 40%, which is where I was looking to sell. So now we're back down to about even. So God bless.
Yeah, I was, let's just say the beef Wellington on Hell's Kitchen.
So if you go to Hell's Kitchen, you order a beef Wellington?
Dude, have you had that?
No, not from Hell's Kitchen. I've had beef Wellington, but not from Hell's Kitchen.
I'll tell you, you'll cry. The tears will come out your eyes.
I don't want to cry.
That's how good it'll be. You'll be like, I've never had something that tasted so good. No, yeah, man. Honestly, you can order anything on that menu. I'm sure it's gonna be, but that's one of their one of their like top entrees, Ryan. It's because they do it so well. I mean. Happy. We're not friends anymore, man.
You're not friends with Happy anymore?
Nah, he said it was overhyped. It was the best restaurant I've ever been to. I've been to a lot of like high-end dining. It was pretty fun. I think it matters also what timing you go. Happy. What did you go? Did you go for dinner? Did you go for lunch? I got to meet Michelle, like an ex-Hell's Kitchen winner, so I had some fun. ARKK continuing to move here, guys. So if you guys are watching ARKK and growth, it's still doing well right now. I'll let you know if that flips, but for right now, it is doing well. SPY up there to 397. Can we get to the 400s today? It's just stair-stepping, which is actually not a bad thing, right? I mean, what we didn't want to see was just a quick downwards reaction through 395, and we're getting sideways action here in the SPY. I'll talk about sectors and industries right now. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. You can take a look. Technology leading us up. Consumer cyclical behind that, and then healthcare. What's on the downside today? Downside is utilities, actually. That's the only thing in the red here from the open. We'll see what happens. Communication services could go into the red, but for right now, it is in the green. Utilities only one in the red right now, and technology leading the way. And so, of course, keep your eyes on the Qs. If that turns around, then you could see tech turn around. But for right now, Qs are looking strong here, pushing up there to 298. Do they get to 300? We'll see what happens.
My Apple sell side on the 140s has literally been a penny away from being hit both times. We're now 2 cents away. So I'm going to be stubborn. Still waiting for my one, and there it is. Thank the Lord. 140 out, half the size. We got 40% gain on those apples. Thank the Lord.
Nice push up here on Apple too, by the way.
Yeah, happy
with the market pushing the highs.
I had high expectations too, but maybe the different type of high.
Whoa.
It's Vegas, baby. Now, I'll tell you one thing. Vegas cannabis, oh my God, that thing is expensive. They make their money. I don't
Don't
know.
worry, David. He disagreed. He disagreed with you, so he won't be joining us for the rest of his life. So don't worry about that.
Last resort sticks. Yeah, I've been to one in Boston, but I haven't been in the Vegas one.
Yeah, Kupang, Ron, Kupang, really good volume here. Huge move off the They actually snapped that 1330 level too. Would have been a great trade. That was yesterday's intraday high, continuing to push higher here. Looking at the daily, I didn't put my screen up, my bad. Looking at the daily chart, this is again one of those really beaten down stocks. Seems to be bouncing here. Let's see how high we can get on this bounce. Mitch, I did that one for you right there. My next target here would be 1511. We'd be looking for on CPNG. Oh, let me block the spammer 1 sec. Boom.
There you go. Way to get it.
Yeah, that was Jessica. That was from Die Hard. That was a classic there. Tiny Pie Media coming through with the Die Hard quotes. You know me, guys. Great movies like Die Hard. I'm going to quote them. I'm going to take the quote. I'm going to chop it up, and I'm going to apply it to the situation we're in. Absolutely love it. What was that from? He won't be joining us for the rest of his life. That is from Die Hard.
As long as long as you don't call it a Christmas movie.
Oh, it's definitely a Christmas movie. I mean, there's really only one answer to that, and that is a Christmas movie.
Guys.
And so is Die Hard 2, right? Takes place on Christmas. Mitch is so mad right now. He took himself off. Here, I got something for Mitch. Real quick. Here, Mitch. This is for you. You mad, bro?
I left, bro.
I know. Okay.
All right, I'm back. Let's go. Is it time? Sound the horn, sound the alarm. Let's go. Where are my Chewbacca traders? Let's go. Time to blow up our ears and wake us up. Let's go.
Oh, I'm up, man. I'm telling you, boosted caffeine espresso is the way to go.
Boosted, man. More caffeine in your espresso, bro?
Hey man, look, there's a new flavor, right? This is how you get me. You show me something that's delicious, and then you show me something that says new and improved, boosted, more caffeine, and Ryan's brain is like, buy that.
I know how your brain is right now, bro. Your brain's like this right now. And they're off. Ryan is in a horse race, but it looks like the spy is in a horse race, but we're not a part of it, Ryan. I don't know what we're doing. I know Zunaid's trading on up there, but we'll see what happens there. Cover my shorts, says Intrepid Trader. I don't need to. I got to stop, man. They'll cover for me. Don't worry.
Oh, my God. BBIG on the scanner, folks. BBIG rounding here. Well, I'm not even going to trade this today.
BBIG?
Yeah, I'm not going to trade this today. I'll watch it. We could talk about it, but I'm not. I'm going to make a commitment right now here to not trade this today.
What about the buy now and pay later, or pay never?
Affirm. No, like I said, our shout out on Affirm to the Benzinga Pro chat who decided to play this for their earnings print via straddle. Those cashed this morning. Awesome play on that. Really love that. So I don't like the stock. I do think we're going to see 10 prints at some point in the future. But for that earnings print last night, masterful job by Benzinga Pro Chat playing that with the.
Look at these bag holders. They're jumping out on me. Happy, Intrepid. They're like looking for Lucid to go to 20 today. We'll see what happens. It is up there. I will say it. It is.
Is your short still open? Oh.
Yeah, man. Short's still open, bro.
Oh, we got a battle, folks.
Short's still open, baby. I mean, I've made the biggest gain of the year I've had on Lucid, so I'm not going to stress about this. I'm just going to let it keep going. Let it work. If it stops me out break even, it stops me out. But if it rejects from here, I think I go back down through those lows of 14. So, hey, we'll see what happens. Like always, it's what it's all about. Could have made some money yesterday. Yeah, I mean, I would have taken maybe some calls, but I wouldn't have traded Lucid long yesterday. I mean, I just definitely wouldn't have.
Yeah. I mean, it's not good on that 18. What was your entry point?
1855.
Pixie, folks. Okay. Wow, huge volume on Pixie here. Biggest stick of the day. I got a high at 32. Interesting.
Pixie. I mean, this is 30-cent stock, though. Just be careful.
I don't like trading these either, but it's just it's wild. Wild move here.
For that, I'll trade Sundial. And you see it up today.
Oh my gosh, the volume.
ARKK coming down here, guys. Just want to point that out. I think it's important to watch this trend. To tell you the truth, it might be even better to watch ARKK than Apple today. Just see what happens to growth.
So you'd be looking at ARKK as your market indicator?
Yeah, man, because that's what ripped yesterday. Look how this took like barely no heat yesterday. It just literally just got off the floor and then has just gone sideways. Now continuing to push. I think that's one way that you can watch to see if growth continues is just watch ARKK.
Yeah.
Or you could look at SARK the opposite way, right? If SARK going down. So how's this short? How's this
VIX
short
getting melted?
So Tesla, the Tesla dragon.
Yeah, billionaire lifestyle asking about Tesla here. Any thoughts for Tesla? You know, really quick, Mitch, I'll have you give the thought here on the chart. But my thought here is Tesla seems to be kind of reacting to Twitter headlines because now they're kind of tied together via Elon.
Yeah, I agree with that. Missy,
what do you see in the levels there, Mitch?
I just see a VWAP bounce trade. That's all it's setting up right now. Nothing like significant there. It's just more along just VWAP trade if you want to trade it off the VWAP there. You think the stocks are going up here, then I wouldn't see it as a bad trade there. I'm just going to be patient. I think today is one of those days that, that stocks can come on up here. And I think the SPY can even end up by 400. So that's what I've been looking for. And now we're at the 399. So we could trade like scalping up towards here, but we'll see what happens today. A lot of stocks in the green here. We'll see what happens towards 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock this hit. Now let's see what happens here. What did Jerome Powell say yesterday? I got you, man. That's what it's all about, right? Let me pull up my window. I had to restart my computer, so let me just give you the exact here.
Unity, nice little bounce here too.
Notes in the morning. Pulling up my notes here. All right, so yesterday, what happened with Powell, right? So first things first is he did get voted in for his second 4-year run. The Senate vote was 80-19, so it wasn't like it was even close there. And then he went on and he cautioned Thursday that getting inflation under control won't be easy. Nevertheless, we think there is a pathway for us to get there. I love that one. That's just showing both sides of the coin. He then stated that he can't guarantee a soft landing as the Fed looks to control inflation. Now that he's been elected, I think he's going to be even more hawkish on inflation. That's just what I think. I think he's going to really try to get that under control. Why do I feel so?
Guys, Veru, Mitch, I'm sorry, man.
No, I mean, dude,
I'm sorry. This Veru was setting up here for an 11:20 break. Took this out, went to 12. Massive. I'm not in this. I'm calling this a little late here, but if you had this, trim and trail this. Jay Wild, thank you for shouting this out. Mitch, I'm really sorry to interrupt, but that's a monster trade that we just watched right there live.
Yeah, that's a good one there. Veru, and I mean, what is that? High short interest.
$55 price target this morning from Jeffries.
And there you go. Boom. Could very much get it to like a rocket, right? I mean, especially when you have that high short interest already. I mean, there's definitely probably some shorts covering into that rip.
I'm going to go ahead and try some LAZR here. Got filled at 10:02. Stop loss is going to be 984. So pretty much the previous 5-minute candle low. Hoping for this across VWAP and get to about the 1025s and maybe the 1050s as well.
Share mode with a money drop
over here banking.
Money drop, money drop. All right. We'll see what happens here, guys. We're definitely getting towards that time where we normally see some reversal action. Trying to see what happens here.
Ryan is asking, didn't they get FDA approval for their COVID vaccine? They were trading higher because in the pre-EUA meeting, which is the emergency use authorization, the FDA said the company should submit a request for FDA emergency use authorization. So I would imagine that they're in the process of that, and it looks good.
All right, one that I'm looking at, guys, that you guys know I've been talking about it is DraftKings. At least for my investment plan, I got to say I was a little bit hesitant because I was looking at to invest in DraftKings, and it was going to be at 13, 12, and 10. I would have got a nice average in here, but I haven't taken any shares of DraftKings yet because it just seemed like a horrible market environment. I'm taking a look at it here for maybe an investment. It is up there towards 12.24 right now. I'm going to have to wait for a little bit of a pullback, but it is interesting to maybe take a shot on that. I'm taking a look at least.
I'm going to go to sell everything here on Apple real quick. 158's all out.
He's out.
Apple.
Nice trades, Zunaid. From the bed, on the hotel Wi-Fi. My man getting it done. Doesn't matter.
Hey, speaking of which, you've got the Qs. We not promise, but we said 300 is what I was looking for the Qs to get to. We did go ahead and peg 300 there. Maybe that wasn't the right choice of word, but 300 on Qs met. Let's see if SPY ever got to 4 and SPY to 4 as well. So there you go. Those magnets of 3 and 4 on those two ETFs worked out really well. Where do we go from here? No freaking clue.
And real quick on Beach Bum. Hello, my man. Hopefully you are enjoying trading from the beach. Thank you for your support. Webcoin, this is a really good point here. Veru's not going anywhere near 55 anytime soon. These are only the early stages. Really good point because those analyst upgrades are often 12 to 18 months projections, 12 to 18 month projections. So he's exactly right. It's not as if this stock is going to go to 55 today because of that. That price target is for over a 12 to 18 month period. Oh, wow. Las Vegas Sands sweeping and at the highs. Let's see if it actually pops above 33.
Lost all the money there.
I'm not taking this one, by the way. There it goes.
Las Vegas Sands, not in Las Vegas anymore.
I was going to say, you should not be able to.
You should not. That's like tricking investors, I think.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Tricking investors. Because if you were a new investor and you just looked into this, and let's say, I mean, you do got to do due diligence, and so maybe they get away with it in that end. But if I went and I was a new trader and I just opened up and I saw gambling stocks or like casinos, and then I looked at MGM, I looked at let's say Penn, and then all of a sudden I was like, LVS, Las Vegas Sands, I'm seeing Las Vegas traffic going up. Let's do this. Then you find out, oh no, they don't even have anything in Las Vegas anymore. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a trick.
And real quick, a Red Rum saying that the win chart is identical to LVS. That actually is the case. Without this little breakout from those sweeps, that chart looks identical. By the way, Win, absolutely love this. This is best in breed when it comes to hotels that are actually in Vegas. No position, not trading not trading this in sympathy with the Win calls, but interesting and a good call out.
Yeah, my thing with Wind is that they don't have betting. They spun off their betting platform. So that's why I don't like it that much. But then again, you guys know how I'm a gambler. Yeah, I mean, hey, I've been looking for MGM to spin off MGM Bets. That'd be one of the best gambling companies that there would be. I mean, if you look at state by state profitability, MGM is probably the one that is doing the best.
Good insight there, Mitch.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll tell you right now, it's my favorite platform also. It's not only that I haven't used the other platforms, I've used them all, but I go back to MGM Bets all the time.
Real good question here from Remco. I'm not going to I'm not going to disrespect you and butcher your last name here, but Remco asking, hey, Rang, question about Veru. Do you also scan for unusual option activity when you look for stocks? Yes. So on the screen that you're seeing right here, this is my scanner. That's a relative volume based scan. We'll be happy to share it with you. And then on the bottom here is the signals tool that is basically looking, just giving me all of the information from the unusual option activity algorithm, as well as block trades and halt and resumes. So I say a lot that when it comes to unusual options, I like to marry it with some other type of data point. So if I notice, like for example, Veru here at the top of the scanner having an absolute monster day, if I notice some sweeps in the unusual option activity, I will call them out. And in some cases, like for example, this right here, this is CrowdStrike. This is a call sweep with 25 different routes. That's pretty noticeable. Generally, I would say anything above 40 is worth noting. So yes, I do that. Oh, when are you going to update Buddy's Instagram? Gosh, Shelly, I'm an Instagram noob, but I've got some good pictures. I'll try to do that. I'll try to do some of that this weekend. His fans are waiting. Parentheses me. That's hilarious. Mitch, we got a request for you to run down the sectors. Would you mind doing that?
By all means, let's do it. All right, so let's start taking a look here. What we want to do is let's take a look at the daily. All right, and so technology here bouncing off the bottom there and giving us a nice little look up. There's a little bit of a space here, so we'll see what happens at the end of the day. But if it can get up to, let's say, 8,000 here, and what is strong in technology, that's what really matters, right? So you see solar strong today, 10% up on the industry. So what happens there? Look how all these names are into the green here. The whole industry is green. This is when I love to trade some names in this industry, because you could be looking for something, let's say, off the VWAP or anything like that, doing well right now. And then you see the leaders and you see if they can continue taking the lead. So solar doing really well, software application, electronic gaming, health information. Every industry and technology is up right now. So showing you that overall relative strength there. Then you're seeing consumer cyclicals, everything up there. Recreational vehicles and department stores. Earlier today, mentioned by Dennis Dick, he took Kohl's for a little bit of a swing back. That doesn't look too bad today. JWN leading the department stores up about 6.5% there. And then if we look at apparel is doing well too. Look at Lululemon. I'm going to have to get Ryan some Lululemon pants, but we won't talk about that here.
No, we won't talk about that for sure.
Let's go ahead. We'll keep moving here. We'll see what's going on in the world. How's the Abercrombie and Fitch? I already smell the store, and I don't want to go back, but we'll see what happens there. It is coming on back there. And maybe AEO, American Eagle? Should we go back to dressing like I did in the 9th grade? We'll see what happens there. Let's go ahead. Let's see what's going on in lodging. Reopening trade, not looking too bad there. Hyatt, you got a Hilton up a little bit today. We can keep going through some other sectors. What happened, Lord Ryan? You shopped at American Eagle too?
No, I didn't. It's just you're on fire. Whenever you have technical trouble in the morning, you seem to be even more hilarious during the actual day. The Abercrombie and Fitch crack, the American Eagle crack. No, man, I don't have American Eagle. I get my clothes at Costco, dude.
Oh, don't worry. Let's just say back in the day in 9th grade, it was hot for me. Let's just say that. Let's keep going. Energy today.
Hot for me. Oh man.
VORR. You guys can take a look at this one. Maybe potentially getting through 5 today. We've been talking about this one. This is a cheaper oil name. Yeah, Ryan was wearing the "From You by Us."
So okay. Real quick, funny story. One year when I was in high school for Halloween, I dressed up as one of the guys from Insane Clown Posse. So yes, I had a FUBU shirt on for that costume as well.
Classic.
That is the one time.
yeah. If that was that was ninth grade was American Eagle. If we go back into the middle school days, yeah. Oh good Lord, we get into the South Pole, the FUBO. Oh, we're not going to go into that right there.
Happy Muhammad wants a wellness check on Zunaid.
Who the Echo? Zunaid knows.
Zunaid knows. Dude, the Echo, and look. I will never forget where the women, the ladies, they would go ahead and wear those sweatpants, I guess you can call them, that had pink.
There you go, the pink.
Yep.
Gotta have it.
Wellness check is good, man. This just with the internet
acting up,
I'm limiting my comments.
And lean back. All right, let's go. Let's see what else is out there. Healthcare getting back today. And of course, what's leading that? Virgil. Where are you leading that up there? As we know, that's in healthcare and drug manufacturers, specialty stock there. So if you take a look there, what do? You can take a look at some other ones that could be trading with it, right? Maybe getting sympathy. It's in the same industry, trying to push on up there. And you're seeing some of these cheaper names trying to get on up there. Of course, these are smaller moves, so I'm not going to go ahead and even kind of mention them. But maybe this PLXP one is doing a very similar move here. We'll see what happens there. Industrials bouncing back there off the support there. I was looking at this one off the daily. Now we're really starting to come back there in industrials. This is the area that I've been pointing to for Q3, Q4. So we'll see what happens with these. Airports doing well today. Shipping and ports behind that. And then airlines not doing bad today, guys. Getting a little bit of a bounce there. American Eagle. You guys can take a look at GOL. Bouncing back a little bit, but ULCC even having a little bit of a bounce. What are you seeing out there, Zunaid?
Yeah, just kind of keep an eye on Tesla. Well, so for me, I was looking at Tesla to see if I wanted to play it. I played it a couple of times off of VWAP, but there were scalps. And with the internet, I want to call it out. But I'm all out of Tesla now as it's below VWAP. If it comes back to try to test the 752s, I'd be interested in some calls. And then we talked about a rejection off of 300. Let's see if we got that. Nope, still hanging out. No puts for me here because it didn't go ahead and come to 300 right from the open. So for now, I literally don't have any positions. Oh, actually, nope. Wait, on Thinkorswim, I have LAZR at 1002. Stop loss is 984. But besides that, everything else has been a good trade so far.
So real quick, Lord Byron.
Matter of fact, this LAZR, I'm going to go ahead and get out of it here. But
what you got for us, Ryan?
The comments are 10 of 10 today from our viewers. You need the pant leg that covers the whole shoe. I believe that you're referring to Kickwares, KIK. Their motto was, if it doesn't cover every lace, it doesn't belong around your waist. That's pretty hilarious. Then we get another Jinko mention. Totally had a pair of those Juggalo pants. We're having so much fun on a Friday today. I'm absolutely.
The only way, guys.
Broke in high school. I was too broke in high school, so I didn't really wear. I said I was too broke in high school, so I didn't really wear the Abercrombie's. I wore the Aeropostales for $10 a polo.
There you go, Aeropostale.
The A87, the A87 right here. You know what I'm talking about? Logo
I can't hear what you're saying. No, you're breaking up.
No worries. I agree with you. I would say so too. That was the cheaper one right there. Starting to see a little bit of a turnaround there. Was taking a look to see what's going to happen here. If are we going to start flipping down? SPY starting to go sideways here for the last 15 minutes. So I think it's on an important price point right now. Does it push through the 400 here, or does it break back down? I've been looking at stocks like BTU. That's starting to push back down there. Let's see the technology. Does that turn around, or does it keep pushing on the lift there? Let's go. Let's go.
Hanging out around that 23 handle. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, man. Let's keep going. Air Force One's up or down, fellas?
Caleb said, I rocked the MC Hammer pants in 4th grade. Funniest thing I've ever seen is in one of my classes in high school, one of the kids, I can't remember what the presentation was for, some type of instructional presentation, taught the group how to make MC Hammer pants and literally brought in a garbage bag and scissors and cut foot holes in the corner of the garbage bag and put it on and was like, look, I have MC Hammer pants. Can't touch this. I mean, it's things like that I will just never forget. That was my childhood.
Hey, the life we live, we don't hold back there, and the laughter is going to keep on coming, guys. Let's just take a look here. What are we guys seeing in the market? If you guys see a big move or maybe a big trade that you guys are seeing on out there, call it on out. Of course, I know what Air Force Ones are, Ed. I mean, if you didn't have a pair of Air Force Ones, well, to tell you the truth, it took me a while to get my Air Force Ones.
So we were talking about Fubo, the stock, giving us a nice little trade here on a 351 break. Probably could have front run this and played this off the 350 break. We're up 5 cents here, looking strong. Biggest volume ticks of the day. Maybe we get a pullback here to VWAP and set up again. Maybe we break 355. Maybe they heard us. Maybe they heard us talking about Fubo and was like, Fubo is like, it's time to get going here.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on ARKK. You guys know I've been talking about it there. It started to turn around a little bit there, so we'll see if it really pushes back through that 43, or do we just start ticking on back down here?
Buddy, you're marking up the microphone. Why do you do that? I like how he fix it. I fix it, and then he just keeps rubbing it.
Keep going, cheese line. You get that cheese.
Yeah, no, Cheese, you've been on fire, man. Ever since you came in here, you've been on fire, giving us some fire plays, too. Really love it.
Bring that cheese, baby.
Good stuff, man.
You know, you're going to see what's going on right now. I mean, I'm starting to see a little bit of leakage, but that's in basic materials. I think it kind of got dull there, a little bit of quietness there in the market. Yeah, it's still quiet there on the SPY there. You know Cheese is making that cheese when he's spending that cheese.
Yeah, okay. No question. LTR highs, wow.
All right, what's going on out there, guys? Do you guys see anything that's continuing the trend and not trending back down?
Every ARC name is green, says Jay. Yep, that's it's going to be your relief rally, isn't it?
Yeah, everyone is green.
Sure seems like it.
The lowest one is Tesla, though. Her biggest position, just to kind of mention. So if
Was
Tesla
the metal
can rip,
chain on your baggy trousers a thing in the U.S.? Yes, chain wallets were definitely a thing.
yeah,
Yes.
that was more 90s, though, I think.
Yep.
That
for
was more
sure,
90s. That was like back when you used to have like the punk rock bands. Mitch, extremely quiet. What, my voice or taking trades? Why
No,
am I
I think-
not taking trades?
I think your volume was a little quieter than normal today, all jokes aside.
Okay, I'll turn myself up.
Turned? Are you going to get turned? Up?
I mean, I don't mind. I can be a little louder.
Busy bee, I still wear my chain wallet.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a weapon if you need it, right?
Yep.
We need the likes. Where are the likes at, guys? Over 990 of you guys. Come on, guys. Support us. We've been having a good time here, spending it. Back when MTV had music and music videos. Yeah, I know. Carson Daly, you know.
I just want to say something here real quick about the likes. I probably shouldn't say this, and if I get in trouble and I'm not here next week or the week after, you'll know why.
When you put Ryan full screen.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oftentimes after the show, we'll have Jason ask, "How many likes did you get?" And when we tell him, we never BS him. We always tell him what the number is, and he always seems disappointed. And it's crazy because the rest of us, we're doing our best here to try and bring you entertainment and ideas and make money. The community is making us all money as well. So we would really, really appreciate that. We don't want to be turned off. We don't want to be let go. We want this show to keep rolling. And the way that we do that is free, right? You literally click an icon of a thumbs up. That's literally it. And that helps us. I'd like to be able to answer Jason's question and be like, we had 1,000 likes today. Maybe we'll be able to do this some more. So just saying, I know Mitch says it every day, just so you're aware, we get asked and our numbers are sometimes underwhelming. And we would like to turn that around. So
All right,
PSA.
guys. Taking a shot here. I'm going to take a shot here. I'm seeing the SPY break through 400. Remember, we were sideways for a little bit there. So I'm going to look to ride the momentum here in Tesla. Just jumped on there at the 766.56 level. Already up about a point there. We'll see if it can get through the high. Needs to get back through 775 to really start showing me confirmation. Yeah, I'm feeling good about this position. It can keep going. It's pretty much a VWAP bounce trade here. Off the 5-minute, you can see how we broke down below the VWAP here. Now we're coming back above it. We would like for it to hold VWAP on any pullbacks.
GDXJ moving towards the highs. Here's a gold miner, which is interesting because the SPY is also moving to the high. Oh, not sure our music videos involved into a reality teen pregnancy network. I don't know either. I can't even keep a straight face. That's so damn funny.
He's talking about MTV.
Yeah.
Of course, bro. That's what they were for a little while. Teen Moms.
How many viewers do we have?
God, over 1,000,
1,007.
man. Come on, bro. Flex.
Sweet. What you mean, come on? You didn't give me access.
Zunaid, I've given you
How you
access
gonna
like
tell
5
me
times,
come on
bro.
when you didn't give me
5
access? No,
times.
to the
5
view
times,
count.
bro.
To the view count. To the view count.
Oh, I mean, you got to keep that login.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go
You got to
ahead.
keep that login.
Oh man, look,
Peace
when I
and
come back to
crypto.
my PC, when I come back
Love
to my
it. Beats and
PC, I
crypto.
got
Let's
you.
go.
Yeah, we need that closet open,
Yo.
not closed. We'll see what happens, guys.
I did forget to
Definitely
turn
some
off
little
my
bit of a
AC.
bounce.
So there's that.
Wait, what?
I forgot to turn off my AC when I left.
Ooh, I hate when I do that.
Yeah.
Well, at least when you get back, it'll be nice temperature.
Yeah.
Uh,
I forgot to turn off the AC and I forgot to turn off the kitchen lights. So oops.
nice.
Well, you better trade to make up for that money that you're just burning.
Hey.
Jeez.
It's so far so good, man. The only L I've taken, I think, is a laser for about 10 cents.
ENPH still pushing there, guys. LVS still pushing there. Las Vegas Sands. I think something's going on, but it's just continuing to ride on up there.
Yep, it's called the Benzinga FinTwit Conference in Vegas. That's what's going on.
Yep.
Oh, that's what it is. SBNY, also an interesting stock. I don't know. It's Signature Bank. I don't know if you guys have traded it before, but it is looking well there. I like the 5-minute chart there. Nice little 5-minute pattern there, but I'm not going to take it here, but it did look interesting there for me. There's Tesla continuing to push. We're deep into the green now. Let's see if it can get through the high of 73s there. That's going to be that first level to break on out. We'll look for a push towards 780s here on Tesla.
Wait, how are you going to meet us, Knight? Oh, you think I'm in Vegas? I am not in Vegas. I am in Indianapolis for an esports broadcasting that I do. You will, however, meet Spencer.
Yeah, you got Spencer, you got AB, you got Neil.
Yeah.
You guys remember I was actually bearish Tesla yesterday, but I'm trading Tesla to the long side now. What does that show? Just got to be flexible, guys. Flexibility as a trader, especially as a day trader, is going to be very vital.
Jay, thank you for that. SBNY is a bank with Bitcoin exposure, but a bank absolutely crushed the last 2 months. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. It makes sense also why it's coming back a little bit. All right, guys, I did get stopped out of Mara. Mara is break even on the rest. You guys know I was talking about that one. Mara here coming through that level. I had 1181s. It just broke through that 1181s. I got on out there. Didn't lose a single cent there on the last little bit of shares. Gave myself the chance. Mara had eventually come down all the way to $9 here from 1181s. I was looking for this to come back closer towards the 7s. And just stopped me out right there. We'll see if eventually Lucid stops me out. Still up on that one, but it could get to the 1855s today. I'm not going to be mad about it. What you do is you stick with the plan. Bumble is flying. We'll see what happens there. When am I taking my CMT? That'll be in June. I'll be taking it in June. I should have already been through the exam one. I already studied for it. I was ready, but then some crap happened in December where I couldn't take the test. Had to wait 6 months all the way to take the test again, but whatever. It is what it is. Happy to see the shorts kicked in the face. They have become arrogant lately. Well, I mean, Brock,
Hey, nice
you can't be
long on
upset.
Tesla, by the way.
You can't be upset because people short too, though. I think, like it's just like when people were longing in 2020 and then people were upset because people were making money buying the dip. Can't be upset at that. It's just how trading is always going to be. There's always going to be heroes. It's never going to go away. And if you think it's going to go away, I mean, then you're probably in the wrong business. You're in an arrogant business. That's the truth. Stock market and trading is an arrogant business. There's no compassion here, man. Everyone's trying to make money.
Nice long, by the way, on Tesla, man. I wanted to go off of that 660, I think it was, but I waited for the 750 and I never got it. So I was waiting for the 750. You got it at 760-ish. But it's a VWAP. Wouldn't be surprised if it tries to test that 780, but nice long.
Got to play the trends. Diamond hands handing doesn't pay the bills. I don't know.
Wait, did nothing I just said just came over?
No, we got it. We got it there.
Am I robotic or no?
Zunaid is robotic to himself.
I am having a tough time. The microphone on Zunaid's laptop is not even in the same class as the one at home.
It's this. Oh yeah, no, no, it's not. It is 10:30 though, so I'm gonna head out here in a couple of minutes. But I was just saying, nice long on that Tesla. I wish I joined earlier.
Yeah, except I haven't sold it yet. We'll see what happens. We didn't get through that 74 level. I'm waiting. I'm being patient here.
VIX continues to melt here.
That's a
high
good
of
sign.
what, 35-ish?
Right. Look at Todd coming back with the beef Wellington comment. Can't blame you.
I mean, if it's a signature dish of Gordon Ramsay, you're absolutely right. I should try that at some point.
Yeah, honestly, I wanted to try something else, but I knew how much of a signature dish it is, and know how animate they are about like getting it right. All right, guys, it's about 10:30 here, guys. So please hit the like, guys. Let's keep it going here. We'll see what happens. I feel like we got in a little bit of a slow up, but there's Tesla coming back towards VWAP. We'll see what happens here. I'm going to stick to 762.50. So that would be about 3-point risk there. We're looking for a move above 774. That right there would be a 10-point move. So just to kind of get it in perspective. The blind trader said, "Yeah, 2 Red Bulls, and I'm still lagging."
That's incredible.
I
mean, I don't know what else to say.
Oh wow.
Let's break the record. Let's go. Let's hit those likes, guys. We're going to be having on some experts coming on to join us in a little bit. Thomas J. Hayes, he's been on Money Mitch before, and I'm going to bring him on here to talk about the market. And one of the things that I love that Thomas always does is he's looking at the relative strength. He puts out often the heat map to tell you guys, hey, these are the strong stocks today. These are the weak stocks today. I think it's very important to always note that. So we'll be getting into that with Thomas, and that'll be coming up at 11 a.m. Eastern. So hit the like. Let's keep it going here.
Jay Rice with a really important comment here. Quick reminder, when VIX is in the mid-30s, premiums on puts are very high. Best to sell that versus buying it. So this is, you'll hear this talked about by a lot of experts, a lot of people on TV. The Nigerians have mentioned this on CNBC a whole bunch. You want to buy downside protection when it's cheap. You want to buy your insurance when it's cheap. And Jay's absolutely right. As the VIX starts to go up, so too are those put premiums. And you're going to end up paying more. And if you get, one day where the market bounces and the VIX gets melted here, you're going to lose just on the premium decay, right? So always a good piece of advice. Buy the insurance, buy the downside protection when it's cheap. Don't buy it when it's expensive. Really underrated thing there, Jay. I appreciate you mentioning that.
All right, I'm gonna head out, y'all. The internet's starting to bother me. but I'm gonna go for a walk. I will see you later, Lord Ryan. And Mitch, enjoy the Tesla long. I was just saying bye because the internet's shitty.
Okay.
Clearly.
Have a good one, my man.
Mitch, Ryan, see y'all later. Bye.
Later, man. Later. Take care, Zunaid. Have a good day, man. Enjoy your weekend, dude. Take care, bro. All right, guys, we're going to keep it going here. You guys got Lord Ryan. You guys got Money Mitch. Can we get to 600 likes today? I want to check out how we're at on the like game. Don't disappoint me, guys. Come on. Let's see where we're at right now. We're at 367. We need to get it on up there. Let's go. Let's go. Rile up those likes and let's go. If you guys got a stock you guys want to take a look at, throw it up in the chat. I'm willing to go ahead and take a look. I'm sure Ryan is also. What are we going to get here? Are we going to get the Tesla breakout, guys? It just bounced off the VWAP one more time. Can we get it through the 74s and going on up there towards about the 780s is where I think we'll start taking some profit there and then just try to let it just start squeezing. Does it get to 8? We'll see what happens today. It's been going on up here, pulled back in the pre-market, well, right at the open, really. Right here at 935. Now it's coming on back through there. Do we get through the open? The open was 776.42. I think that's very important to get through so that we can see continuation. What up in the chat? Wake up. Let's go.
Moving back towards the highs here.
All right.
Let's Donkey Kong pounding the highs here, Mitch.
Donkey Kong. I was a little annoyed. I should have asked the investment committee. I've been a little bit hesitant on the investment committees on if I should go long or not, but who knows? Maybe that's because I spent too much money this year. But
the investment committee,
yeah, man, it's not only one pick, man. It's an investment committee now.
I hear you clucking, big chicken.
That's how it is, man. Clock, clock, clock. DraftKings there turning around there at the $10 up there now towards 1262. I was looking at it today to maybe take a trade on it. It wasn't looking too bad earlier too. It was right around the VWAP, but it didn't really pull back there. It just kind of held the trend right now. Here's Tesla going through the 774s. Now we're through the 775s here. I'm going to go ahead and try to put out an order here around the 780s to go ahead and cover a little bit here, but not looking too bad there in Tesla.
A couple of things here. Number one, we see Matthew asking thoughts on Affirm. Does it go up to 30 or back down to yesterday's close? I can't tell you if it's going to go back up to 30. I personally am in the camp that says Affirm sees 10 prints. I don't like the buy now, pay later business model. We're getting a little shaky there. Did you see that little drop there? Anyway, I think that eventually Affirm hits 10. I certainly don't think it's going to do that today. I don't really have a specific time frame for you. I do think that this inevitably hits 10, though. I'm not bullish on Affirmed. And really quick, also want to offer some encouragement here for Jessica. Jessica, just so you're aware, and for everyone here, my very first account, I also started with $500. I blew that shit up in 2 weeks. All right. I lost that entire account in 2 weeks. The second account that I had, I started with $1,000. And guess what? I blew up that one too. So you'll often hear me say that learning how to lose is, you can't learn how to win until you learn how to lose. And you'll see that there's a lot of truth to that. Stick with it. Stick with it because you never know how close you are to that breakthrough moment until you actually get there. So, don't feel bad. It's part of the game. Brandy saying, hey, Ryan, are they live streaming the Las Vegas conference today? Wanted to watch Mark from the trading school's presentation. Brandy, I do not believe they are live streaming it. Excuse me. However, they are recording it. So I would not be shocked if you are going to be able to get a copy of that presentation. Do me a favor and email events.
I got you. I know here. So Mark will be part of the insiders circle, and so you will not be touching that. You got to be part of the insider circle. I will tell you that right there. That is part of the like kind of the high end education that we're having at the FinTwit. We will be having some presentations on right here on Benzinga's YouTube. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming up at 12 Eastern time. Now, Mark is a little bit, let's just say, behind the scenes, because that's where the real gold is right now, part of our trading school. So if you want to be a part of that Mark Trading School presentation, then you got to be on the Insider Circle. I think we do have someone as a part of the Insider Circle on the chat here. I think JD's has one of those tickets. There you go. There's my boy. Yes, sir. Hey, my boy's getting that Insider Circle access. So he's going to definitely have a good time and learn a little bit of extra. That Insider Circle definitely is going to bring you a little bit of extra focus on exact strategies and things that you can be using.
Yeah, real quick. W is asking me, Ryan, thoughts on Veru. So Veru, obviously, this has been incredibly strong today. I don't have any angle on this long term. It's certainly proving to be resilient, right? We had that huge pop here. The market was just complete garbage for a long time, sold all the way back down. We're popping now back up to these levels. You do have some pretty good price targets on this. We got a $55 price target from Jeffries this morning. We already had a $36 price target from Oppenheimer. So this is definitely holding up here. I don't have any long-term position for this. I'd definitely be willing to trade it. I was late on the trade today, which was unfortunate because it was an absolute monster as it cleared out this formation here at 11.17. We're now at 14 here. So this is an absolute monster trade. I like this. I like the way it's trading. I like the strength that it's showing. I like how tradable this is intraday for shorter term trades. I haven't built a long-term position, so I don't necessarily have an opinion either way on that. One of the things when I first saw this pop, I was absolutely skeptical of it, thinking that it might come back down. It did, but it's remained strong. And when stocks show you stuff like that, that's important. Again, I would probably just stick to shorter term trades on this, at least for right now.
All right. Winner Pegs is stating that the conference starts at 11. It does not start at 11 a.m. It starts at 12 p.m. Eastern time, which will be 9 a.m. Pacific time. Just to kind of state that and make sure that we know the right timing. Trust me, I'm redirecting to it.
Yeah. Okay. So you're all over that. That's good, Mitch. I'm glad you're.
Yeah. I mean, we're on top of that right now. The Spencer's actually getting ready. He just told us really. He said basically we're there on our end, so we're ready to go. They're ready to go in Vegas. I'm sure they're already pumped and getting the vibes going. We'll see what happens there. Elliott wave pattern on the SPY. Yeah, you can see it there too. I'm glad you got the eyes for that. There's not that many people that have the eyes for the Elliott waves. We'll see if Veru can keep going. SPY topping out there right around the 401, kind of around the 401.50 level. Got to 401.45. It's starting to get towards that topping area where I thought 402 could be that turnaround. But right here, we got strong at 400.
What's going on with Ryder?
And we keep holding it. Oh,
what's
Ryder's
going on
squeezing.
with Ryder?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Hedge fund HG Vora changed filing type for Ryder from passive 13G to active 13D. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. This stock up $12 here, 17%, just a massive pop on huge volume here. Just saw this on the scanner. Obviously, I'm not going to chase this. This is an interesting one here. This would be something to watch.
Okay, so what I would do is Ryder is part of what? It's a part of rental and leasing services, but what really does Ryder do? It rents trucks, right? A lot of the time, right? And that's probably what their main business is renting out kind of like assets, right? And so I'm looking at some like maybe USAK to start moving up on this or something like that. So laggard type of trade. That's what I normally do for it. If I see a move like this where I don't understand how big Ryder is going to keep going, but it's already rocketed up a little bit. So I'd look at a name like USAK to see if that's going to start moving, or you could take a look at some other ones in the industry to see if those are moving with it. Look at this TSP setting up for maybe a push above 8. That's an interesting one. Has a nice supporter at 787. Has gone sideways 1, 2, 3 attempts. That last attempt shouldn't break through that 787. It should get through that 8. We'll see what happens. That would be the rule of 3 if it holds the pattern. We'll see if that can continue there. And Ryder, definitely a strong one, making a big move up.
We just saw an options sweep and more sweeps now on Walgreens Boots Alliance, WBA. It's popping here, and I'm seeing option sweeps, but I'm not seeing or hearing any news.
All
So
right.
that would be something to watch here. WBA.
WBA, not
That's
bad.
Walgreens Boots Alliance.
Walgreens, what's going on with you?
I don't know.
Hey, nice volume.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where it caught it here.
Yeah, 510,000 compared to the last candle there that only had 33,000 shares. Let me see if I can pick up some bigger share size on there. Where's the bigger share size going? There's 4341s. That's not really big shares. Looking for, like, let's say 10,000 shares getting bought up like at 4350. That's what I'd want to see. Sideways action here in Walgreens, but if it gets above that 4350, you see how many wicks there is up there on the 3-minute, or even if you're looking at the 1-minute, look how much selling pressure is up here. Lots of selling pressure. Wick. But if you get through there, you could flip on them. And then boom, next thing you know, it breaks out through there. That's why I said I was looking for a big order to come in here at 4350, which is slightly below that selling pressure. Because if a big order goes through there, you'll probably break through that selling pressure. Just give me 1 second. I'll be right back, Ryan. You can take the screen.
No problem. Patrick asking me, Lord Ryan, thoughts on Mullen. So my only thought here on Mullen, this is actually proven to be a pretty decent trading vehicle. Excuse me. It will often set up for short-term day trades. I don't know that I believe the long-term story of the automotive vehicle here. Doesn't mean that I'm right or wrong. It's just I'm not in it for a long term. I love the way that the volume flow is readable, and I love how big the volume can get on this name in some cases. So for shorter term trading, I've actually traded this several times over the past couple of months here on the show. I don't have any long-term view for it, and I don't have any long-term position in it. OTRA, this low float here, I mean, just complete round trip already. Just
all right, we'll see if we get through those levels there. Walgreens still fighting those levels. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It just popped up here, and that's the thing. You know, you're trying to put together a puzzle with whatever pieces you have. I just saw it pop here. Trading halt on JCSE. Oh my gosh. It's
SE
open
was ripping earlier.
JCSE. This is down 30%. Boy, this
SE.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
Oof, that is a scary chart there. That's scary. I'm looking for this WBA. I mean, it doesn't look too bad there. Tesla. I'm back into the red there, guys. Tesla flipping on me, guys. Gotta be careful. I might have to get out of Tesla, not stop paying attention to Walgreens. You could pay attention, maybe if you guys see anything there. Shouldn't get through 765 again there, guys. We're going to set a stop here on Tesla. Don't want to get caught there on any downside action through the 765 level. So we'll put 764 ease with a little bit of room there, but we're not going to push there. If it breaks VWAP one more time, it'd be the third break, actually the fourth break, and I don't want to be fighting it there. There you go. Set the stop so I can go take a look at WBA now. You can see if it's going to break out through that 4350, and then the next move up is 4375. All right.
Sorry, just looking around here.
Yeah, looking.
SLQT moving towards the highs here.
All right, let's see if WBA is going to get through that 43.50. Keeping an eye on Tesla. At least it bounced there. We set the stop there. We don't have to stress about that. Lucid's still coming on up there. I'm only a slightly into the green still. We'll see if that gets stopped out. But, hey, I'm just going to continue sticking to the plan on that one. Tesla, we really want to see it push back through that 774, getting on up there to 780s. Then we'll take some profit. WBA, nothing coming in right now, but I just started seeing 2,000 shares flowing there at 43.46, 43.43s, but nothing through the 43.50s yet. All right, if we take a look at the sectors, what is happening there? Technology slightly turning around, everything slightly turning around. The only thing that looks kind of more to the upside is healthcare right now, but slightly turning around. Doesn't mean it's like a huge turnaround. There's no big candles to the downside here, but definitely slightly pulling down here. We're going to look to see if we get another wave up in these names, in all the sectors, really, pretty much.
I got you, Mitch, by the way.
No worries. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to let Ryan take the lead here. If you guys need anything, like always, just ask Ryan. He can help you guys out.
We'll do my best. But why did you? There you go. Okay. I was like, Mitch, what are you doing? You're setting me up for failure here. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and push through here. Veru still, and actually this is time to mark another high here. 15.17, although there you probably get a little bit of resistance there at the 15 round number. This thing really, really strong today. Volume definitely dropping off here as we go into the lunch hour, but that doesn't mean that it can't start back up, especially in the afternoon after the lunch period has passed. So we definitely want to keep an eye on that. And that's also why we want to note these different levels here, because as those get taken out, these may continue to move. Ryder, I saw who was it in the chat? Yeah, Paul saying Ryder went bonkers, but the spreads are whack. You're absolutely right, man. This thing went crazy. I don't know how tradable this was. First of all, I was late to it, but second of all, like you were mentioning, the spreads were pretty crazy. Let's go. ITP, wasn't this a internet pump? Wasn't this a Twitter pump? ITP by somebody? I think so. Not much there. Coin hanging out right below 70 prints. I think, again, coin, I think higher here. I think like I said, bullish on coin in the long term, really struggling right now. And I mean, looking at the price of Bitcoin, it makes total sense. Looking around here. Tesla, this is actually a nice little grind here on Tesla. We definitely, you know, we gapped up, obviously. We sold off out of the open right to VWAP. We've kind of been riding the VWAP up here. It'll be interesting to see if Tesla actually starts to break away from that. Haven't seen it yet. Bumble really strong. Wow, this is wild. This closed at $17 day before yesterday, and here we are at 25.5. DM Desktop Metals. This is moving up. Here's a 3D printing play that was actually brought to our attention by 13, another Benzinga great, if you will, big time supporter. So this second gap down, we've almost bought this entire gap. In fact, we have. Be interesting to see if we can get this thing back up to about 3.5. Looking good so far. Just checking out the scanner here. You guys are talking about the vaccine stocks. I wouldn't be trading these at all. They are definitely up today, but for me, this is I just look for something else personally. Good luck to you if you do trade them. Labu, so here, this is interesting. Some of these ETFs, these have been really, really great to trade amidst all this volatility here in the market that we've seen. So this one, I actually traded this a couple of times. They haven't traded today. It looks like it's getting away, but it's moving towards highs here. Moving towards highs. UEC on the list here, up 13% today. Hey, Voodoo, you take care of yourself, my man. Have a great weekend. Be safe. We will be back next week. Absolutely. You know us, man. We're going to be hitting it. Take care, my friend. Ryan, have you looked at Dave? I don't know any Daves, but let's look at the stock, Jessica. Ooh, big move here off the open. Looks like this is staying here above VWAP. Do we have news on Dave? What's going on here? No, this just looks like it's okay. So yesterday we had yesterday we had earnings. Reaffirms guidance. Good sales. Looks good. This let's take a look to the left here on Dave. Okay, so it looks like we are coming off the bottom here. Really what I would like to see is to take out 4. If we can take back 4 here, I think we might make a decent run here. This looks like this was a SPAC. There's just some wild movements here. Dave, this could be a good mover here, but be careful with this. Your brother's name is Dave. There we go. And your dad. Okay, Dave and Dave. Are you a Dave Matthews Band fan? Because that would really be the trifecta there for the Daves. Let me get the Carvana. Okay, so for Carvana, looks like this is calming down. I think this is gonna go back towards 20. Honestly, no, yeah, neither am I. Dave's too slow. Puts me to sleep. That's what I think of every time I hear Dave. I think of Dave Matthews Band. Puts me to sleep. Dave Matthews is not on my list. Okay, we could be friends. You drink coffee with a bunch of cream and sugar though, so that kind of washes it out. No offense.
As if.
What a time to come back, Mitch. Oh my goodness.
Pinky on up, Starbucks creamer. It's funny, I don't like Starbucks, but I use their creamer. That's
I
how
don't
it
use
goes.
any creamer.
Let's see what happens here. WBA setting up for that 43.50 breakout there. We'll see what happens on that one. Hasn't seen it yet, but I'm looking to see if the volume can come back in. Look how the volume drops off here. See how the volume is nothing now? But you got this huge spike. You need that other spike of volume to see it really take out.
Yeah, but see, it looks like it's curling back towards the highs there.
Yeah, so that's a good sign, right?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think, and another good sign, look how it's holding VWAP. You see how it's holding VWAP sideways here? That's a good sign. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla going into the green there for me, but still not breaking through the highs there. It is fighting that high, It could come and break us down here. How's the SPY doing? Are we starting to break down? No, it looks like we got a little curl action there in the last couple of minutes.
Jessica, that is true. You can do whatever you want. Don't let anyone else, including me, alter your opinion on what's good. Live your life and do it the way that you want to do it. By the way, speaking of water and whiskey, I don't put it in my bourbon, but when I pour a glass of scotch, absolutely a couple of drops of water in there to open that scotch up, give it really the best possible taste. So I'm with you there. I got you. I just like my coffee.
I throw a big cube in there, but I don't throw water yet. I haven't tried that one yet. But I mean, you get the water from the cube, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but with scotch, I don't like cubes in the scotch. I like drinking scotch at room temperature, a couple of drips of water. Bourbon, however, absolutely ice.
Yeah, that's just what it is, Lord Ryan. I'm more of a bourbon man than I pull out my black label, but I'm more of a Woodford Reserve kind of guy.
I feel that's a rye, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they have a rye.
Okay.
They have a rye, but they're mainly bourbon. They do have a rye though.
Ryan uses Evian water with his scotch. No, I'm not Cameron Diaz. I don't wash my face with only Evian water. I do have the Hinkley Springs bottles though, so it's like the distilled drinking water and all that.
Yeah, options is the easy way to blow up an account. I would say that too, especially when you're just starting.
Yeah, options will do it. Jessica, I totally want to go see Scotland. Absolutely. We can go see the land you own. Yes, that's right.
Let's do it.
The trees that are planted because of me. Yes, let's go do that. That sounds like fun. If I went to Scotland, man, the Scotch tour that I would go on would be bonkers.
Yeah, dude.
Bonkers.
I'd end up broke from all that scotch. There's some good ones out there, man. And I would love to see the actual the actual where they make it, the distilleries.
Yeah.
And going in through there, that'd be something else.
Yeah, my favorite scotch is a brand called Talisker. It's actually mentioned in a Robert Louis Stevenson poem as well. The king of drinks as I conceive it, Talisker, Islay, or Glenlivet.
All right, guys. This Tesla trade is starting to get to the point where like it's just not doing anything for me, and we're about to get into an interview. So this is just to show you guys a little bit more of how I'm going to be protective here. Since I'm going to be doing the interview here, I'm going to go ahead and cover here on Tesla. Even though we're in the green, we're looking good here. Just taking it off there because I'm not going to go ahead and be that close to the trade. I could set a stop and just kind of forget about it here, but it's not doing much for me there. So I thought I was going to get through that 775 and get through it towards the 780s. It's not making that move right now. So we're just going to let go of it right here. It's coming on up. We'll be getting into an interview. I'll be getting Ryan on out of here in a second here. I'll let Ryan wrap on up here. Ryan, what do you think today? I mean, the SPY actually coming on up here. We got some growth to continue in here. How are you feeling about the market?
So, I mean, I'm feeling okay about today. I do still think that inevitably we come back and test 384 on the SPY. So I think the move is lower. I think we're getting kind of a relief bounce here, which is totally fine. In fact, if we do get a bounce, one of the things I'd love to see is a big flush capitulation sell-off right down to 384. Of course, things never work out that perfectly, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. Mitch, I want you to have a great weekend as well as all of the viewers. Good luck with your interview with Tom. He's awesome, by the way. Go follow him on Twitter. Real awesome resource. Nice interview that you landed here. So have a great one. Take care of yourself, and we'll be back next week.
All right. Like always, thank you, Ryan, and we'll have you back next week, my friend. The Lord is out there. Let's go ahead. Let's keep it going here, guys. We're going to be getting into an interview coming on next here. It's going to be Thomas J. Hayes, the chairman and managing member of Great Hill Capital. I've had him on Money Mitch before, and now we're going to bring him on live trading with Benzinga. Like always, guys, smash the like. Let's keep it going here. I'm going to go ahead and kind of just play a little bit of some action here, guys, and we'll be right back here. Play a little trailer action and get us going here. Let's go ahead. Hold on. Well, I got to fix my layout right quick. There you go. Boom, boom. All right, guys, we'll play a little trailer and we'll bring on Tom right now.
I tell all my CEOs, this is a very, very, very important platform. And look, all the other platforms are important too, but you're up there now. You're way up there.
Best investments you can do in your future is actually go and re-educate yourself on credible sites and credible resources like Benzinga. I think you guys have been killing it.
The comment section on this show is remarkable. Like the quality of the combo, and just big shout out.
All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's bring on the one himself here. I've had him on before and excited to get into it. How we doing, Thomas?
Doing great, Mitch. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, excellent to have you on, guys. And one of the things that I always pay attention when Thomas is putting out the heat map to give us a little bit of view of what's going on in the market, right? I mean, that's what I love doing, is definitely staying with where's the relative strength, because it's definitely something we all want to kind of keep an eye out. So, I mean, we started seeing a little bit of reaction. Some people were saying short squeezing yesterday. Some people were saying dash for trash. Were we oversold? How do you see this market right now, Thomas?
Yeah, well, Mitch, there's an old ancient Chinese proverb. It says, he who picks bottom gets stinky finger. I have a few stinky fingers in recent weeks. As you know, I've loved biotech. I've loved China tech. A little bit early for sure. But what you're seeing this week as rates start to stabilize, what are the number one and number two producers the last few days have been? Biotech, the XBI, and KWeb, and Baba's up nicely today. So I think what you had here was less of a crypto winter and more of a margin winter in recent weeks and months. And what I mean by that is that the 10-year yield literally skyrocketed from 137 basis points in December to 319 basis points earlier this week. It backed off below 3% yesterday, closed out at 282. I think it's at 290 today. And if that 10-year yield can stay below 3% and stop going up, and I think with the PPI and CPI numbers coming in less than last month, we could see a real bid back into everything that was left for dead due to tightening fears and the rise in rates. And what does that mean? What's sold off? What's all the biggest things that have sold off? Obviously, are tech, biotech, China tech. Innovation stocks, which I'm less sanguine on. and even crypto. So long duration speculative assets should start to get a bid, provided the 10-year yield stays below 3.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that's been on watch. It's been on both sides. I mean, there's not often that we see, you know, equities taking such a hit and also the bond market taking such a hit. So it's interesting that you're calling out there. We'll be paying attention to see what happens in the Qs. Right now, I'm taking a look at them, and it's been straight up, at least for today. I've been looking to see how the leadership would do, right? I mean, I wanted to take a look at some tech names and see how we were going to be bouncing back. Apple showing up there towards 147 today, not looking too bad. And how are you seeing our leadership in tech?
Yeah, I think you definitely want to see the generals start to get bid. I mean, some of these have come down. They're trading Fangam, FAANGM, including Microsoft. They're trading at 29% below their average multiples of the last 5 years. And a lot of that was rate hike fears. And I think it's absolutely overdone. So we definitely need to see the strength in Fangam. The other thing that is critical here is that this market got a little overdone on those rate hike fears. And the reason I say that is because it all comes down to earnings. And earnings have come in a little bit in the last week. I will say that they came consensus for 2022 came down from 230 to 229. That's not great news. But on that basis, we traded at about 17 times 2022 earnings this week, and we got down to 15 and a half times 2023 earnings, which is exceptionally low considering the average multiple for the last 5 years, Mitch, is 18.6 times, and that includes the last tightening cycle, which went from 2016 to 2018. So for everyone saying that these generals can't do well with the 3% 10-year, they just don't follow history, because the 10-year peaked in October of 2018 at 325. It also peaked previously in January of 2014 at 303, and we got up to 319. Now we're back to 290. This is an environment where tech can perform. And to all those people trying to compare it to the dot bomb and the tech wreck, what they need to keep in mind is in this environment with 8% inflation, and that'll probably drop down to 6 or 4% by the end of the year if we're lucky, money is still effectively free. In other words, it costs you not to borrow. If you can borrow at 5% and inflation is 8%, it costs you money not borrowing. That was not the case during the dot-com crash in 2000, where the 10-year yield peaked out at 6.8%, and inflation was running well below that, which meant money had a real cost, which meant that the valuations of those stocks, which were much higher than they were at the peak few months ago, could not be substantiated because the cost of capital was too high to keep burning money for some of these startups and be able to raise money in a closed credit market. That's simply not the case at present.
No, definitely. I like how you're noticing that because I've talked about it, right? We can relate it to the .com, but it's also different. And I like how you're pointing at the exacts there. One of the things that we saw recent, Jay Powell's comments yesterday talking about how he can't guarantee the soft landing. And I don't think anybody can guarantee that one. But how did you see our inflation data come in, and how are you seeing inflation right now in the environment we're in?
Yeah, I have a non-consensus view here. I mean, people are still saying, well, it's so elevated. The PPI and CPI was too hot. I mean, PPI came in below expectations. CPI came in above expectations, but below last month. And that's the key thing. Both of them came in below last month. It's pretty sanguine. The most important thing you need to know about inflation, if you look back at the CPI and PPI numbers of April of last year and then May of last year, what you saw is they started to rise pretty decently in April, but in May they skyrocketed. So why is that helpful? Because the base effects, meaning the comps year on year going forward, are going to get much easier. So the odds of seeing a plus 8% or even potentially a plus 7% in the next print are very low, because the spike was so dramatic in May of last year. So when we come up on May, it's going to be hard to be, we could be +5, +4. No one's looking for that. And that's going to be a third point for the peak inflation narrative. The first 2 points were this week when CPI and PPI both came in lower than last month. So I think we're going to see a continuation of that. That doesn't mean prices at your grocery store are going to go back to what they were 2 years ago. It just means that they're going to go up less quickly and then eventually stop going up and level out at the higher plateau. But wages will follow and have been following, maybe to a slower pace, and it'll kind of level out. And if you consider all the global debt around the world, governments kind of have to do this to devalue that and bring back debt to GDP ratios to a more normalized level.
Yeah, it's something we're definitely going to keep on watch. One thing that I've been looking at is, just yesterday I went to fill up the pump there, and let's just say it was a little bit more expensive than usual. And we're keeping an eye out on all different areas. One area that's going to be interesting, of course.
Well, Mitch, according to our leadership, they say, well, that's your problem. Why don't you just go out and buy $100,000 Tesla? What's the problem?
Yeah, that's probably what it is, right? I just don't have the EV. But then I also look at my electricity bill, and that isn't going down either. So, hey.
But Mitch, all you need is $50,000 to put solar panels on your roof. Get with the program.
Using natural gas, and I don't think it's going to be too friendly in the wintertime. So.
Yeah. No. I look. There's a lot of pain out there, and this inflation is no joke. Some of it was self-inflicted, some of it was exogenous geopolitical. But they are putting 1 million barrels a day on for 6 months. That's been helpful in containing things. And if you keep an eye on that rig count every Friday, Mitch, and what you're going to see is that, we're up about 175% in rigs off the pandemic lows. We're approaching pre-pandemic rig count levels, and that supply is going to come back online, and we can't get it soon enough.
Yeah, we keep watching out for what happens in China, right? Does demand come back too? We need kind of that reopening. I think that's going to be something to keep on watch. We'll see what happens in. And one of the things that kind of was interesting, and we can we talked a little bit about Tesla, so I'm going to transfer us over here into the autos. Toyota earlier this week mentioning how they were seeing signs of trouble in the profitability. A lot of that was supply chain concerns of the materials. Then we saw also Tesla coming out, Shanghai worries of supply. How are you seeing that situation there in the autos?
Yeah, I think the semiconductors in particular has been the biggest problem. Yeah, you have the input cost of energy for a lot of the parts as well. But I looked at this report from Compass that I referenced on my video cast last night. You can check that out. And if you dig under the surface, even with the shutdowns, I think what we're going to see is this supply chain shortage is going to turn into, semiconductor shortage is going to turn into a semiconductor glut in the next 18 to 24 months. And again, that's non-consensus, but they kept those factories open in Shanghai, going kind of around the clock. They had the workers sleeping in the factories, et cetera. So I do think that we see you look at Global Foundries earnings this week alone, knocked it out of the park. And I think we've got a lot of people racing. The other thing is many of these companies put in 2 and 3 and 4 times orders because they sense the shortage. And once that supply comes back online and they realize they don't need that much, they were just trying to get ahead of the line, you're going to see a lot of canceled orders, and you're going to see those chips flow out to the automakers and the pent up demand from the last 2 years where they've got to refill the dealer inventories, and then they got to meet with years of backed up pent up demand. If you walk into a Range Rover dealer right now, they'll say, okay, yeah, we'll order your car and you can come pick it up in 8 to 12 months. There's a ton of that business, and I think it's going to be a huge opportunity for auto parts suppliers in particular. I think you and your viewership and followers may want to take a look at that group, because there are a number of companies that have been left for dead in that group, and may represent some value opportunity if you can stomach some short-term volatility for the next 3 to 6 months. We don't know when the hockey stick is going to turn on the semiconductor supply, but when it does, all that's needed for them to flourish is the OEMs, the Fords, the GMs, et cetera, to get back to full production to meet their demand that's already in place. And then, you get the semis, these part suppliers are going to absolutely fly off the mats. They've been kind of beaten up because they can't sell to the OEMs if the OEMs can't produce cars, and the OEMs can't produce cars until they have chips. And I think those chips are certainly going to come in the second half of this year. But right now, some of these companies are trading like the chips are not going to come for 2.5 years. And if that's the case, we got a lot more problems than that. And I certainly don't think that's the case. I think the higher likelihood in 2.5 years is we've got a semiconductor glut like we've never seen before.
Something to keep on watch. I mean, I've been waiting to see what happens there. I mean, just to kind of mention, I mean, the Ford, the EV truck coming on out later this year. Also, Fisker going to be coming out with their vehicle in November. So something to keep in mind, right? I think there's going to be some catalyst that also comes into play and some mentions of these EVs later in the year. We also don't know what's going on with that Tesla Cybertruck, right? I mean, that could come out anytime soon. And just to mention, I mean, what happened to the Tesla Semi? I don't know if you know something that I don't know, Thomas, but I feel like that has also subsided, but it could come back into play, right?
I think that maybe the R&D went into the purchase price of Twitter, but we'll find out how that plays out.
They took a break. Let's just say that. And then they might have been taking some look at the Twitter. How do you feel about that Twitter situation? Do you think this is something that we should just kind of maybe risk off type of situation now? But I mean, it's
look, I think he's going to retrade it. And I think he's going to get away with it because they have no choice. So he's got them boxed as he had them boxed with taking a tender to the shareholders before they finally approved it. And my guess is, we don't know what percentage of bots there are on Twitter, but my guess is it's more than 5% that they publicly disclosed in the filings, and Musk completely boxed them. And my guess is the final price is a bit lower. So, there'll be a lot of litigation. There'll be a lot of headaches, but he'll get it done because it's Elon Musk and he just tends to get things done. One thing though, Mitch, I would draw attention to your buyers because, you are to your viewers, because you are in the last couple of days, I kind of touched on it at the top of the hour, seeing a biotech as the top performing sector the last few days. I think there was a sea change, not only with the rates, coming below 3%, the 10-year yield and risk on, et cetera. I think the Pfizer purchase of Biohaven for $11.6 billion was a sea change. And that lit the fire for animal spirits in the market. It put boards of big pharma companies all across the country on notice. If you don't buy these cheap companies, your competitors will. And that's been a major catalyst historically for the biotech sector. There was no deal flow up until this week. And all of a sudden, a big one was done. All of those boards and management are now going to get fear of loss. I think you're going to see a lot more deals. And that's going to create a lot of interest for the XBI when you consider almost 20% of them, particularly the small ones, their enterprise value is lower than their cash value. They're trading at a discount to cash. And the last 4 times this has happened since 2000, it's resulted in a huge rally. And the last type of rally I could think of that's exactly like what we're seeing now is in 2015 to 2016, the XBI biotech ETF collapsed over 50% in anticipation of Fed rate hikes. And it finally, because people think that if rates are going up, biotech can't perform, tech can't perform. But the facts just don't bear that out, because after the second hike, the XBI found its bottom. And over the next 2 years, while the Fed's funds rate went from 25 basis points to 225 basis points, the XBI ETF went up over 140% off of those lows. And I think we could potentially see a similar situation. The XBI has fallen 60% in the last year in anticipation, in fear of the tightening cycle. We've now got 2 tightenings under our belts. The M&A animal spirits are coming back. You have the PDUFA, potential drug approvals in June. A lot of catalysts here. So long as that 10-year stays below 3, I think the game could be on, and I think we could see a multi-year recovery in that sector. And it's nice to finally see it working, even if we were a handful of weeks too early and wound up with a little stinky finger there. Did I lose you, Mitch?
There you go. The old mute trick. There you go. That's what happened there.
Right.
But no, I'm watching the XBI lows there, and I see the support there right around the pandemic time and also around the 2018 drop here that we had here. And so it's right around those same levels. We'll see if we can get this XBI to start bouncing. It looks interesting to me. I'll definitely keep watch of this. But I wanted to thank you once again, Thomas Hayes, for joining us, the founder and chairman, managing member of Great Hill Capital. Thank you for coming in, and also thank you also for the insight that you gave us. I'm going to still remember what you just gave us about the .com era and then the difference of kind of the lending of the money. I think that's an important factor there. Appreciate you, like always, Tom.
Thanks, Mitch. Appreciate coming on with you. See you soon.
See you soon. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's keep it going. I probably will have another trader joining us in a little while too, but we're going to keep it going all the way until 12 p.m. Eastern here. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the overall market, where we're at right now and where we're trading, right? I mean, I think this is important. We've been watching today to see if we hold that 400. We're right there at that 400. We tried to get up there towards the 402, have been fighting up here in the levels. There's a couple of levels that you can clearly see now. You can draw a trend line if you wanted to on the 5-minute. You can see how we've been going on up here, trying to get back up there, but turning around a little bit here. We'll see if we can break on out. Tesla, what's going on with Tesla? Turned back around there to the VWAP. I didn't want to hang around here, but we could see this kind of just start flipping here. Just keep your eyes out on some of these stocks here. Taking a look at Apple, because we got into the green here. We're at 147. Do we just start coming back down? And let's take a look at the ARKK. This is what we've been watching also for growth. And you can see here, now we're having a little bit more of a upslope here. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Does this trend continue? And we break out through here, kind of a kind of ascending triangle look here on ARKK. We'll see if we can get through the levels and get through, let's say 43.26, get up there towards 43.50s and continue to the upside. Time to catch up with the chat. What's going on out there, guys? Sorry about the mute there button there. I had the dog barking in the background. I didn't want Tom to hear the dog barking. I think I got a delivery or something. Let's just say my dog does not like the FedEx man or Amazon delivering packages, but we'll see what happens there. There you go. I got some agreement on XBI. That's an interesting one to do. Hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. I think he gave us a lot of gold there. We're going to be paying attention to see what happens if we can come on out of here. And I'll keep an eye out on that XBI to see if we start getting the push. All right. So rising wedge on Apple too. Yeah, you can see that too there. It is starting to push on up there. Where's the resistance on that? Let's see here. Probably closer towards that 147.50 here. Who let the dogs out is right, man. Who let them out, man? We'll see what happens there. If you guys got a stock you guys want to call on out, definitely go ahead and do so. Look how the industrials have been strong today. That's an interesting one. Seeing airlines come back today. What is up there? We got gold, AZUL. AAL about 4.9%. So definitely American Airlines coming on up a little bit today. Airbnb, how's my Airbnb doing? Airbnb right off the VWAP right now, guys. I mean, if we wanted to take a shot here, we could off of this level here around the 120.46 here. Doesn't look too bad there for me as we got in below the VWAP here. Now we could start seeing this strong stock. We want to let it test one more time towards this 120.70, but not breaking through that. And so here we could use that 120.70 if it gets back above VWAP. But you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 times to try to break here. Gave that last little tick here. Could just start pushing now on Airbnb. We'll see what happens here. I'm really just waiting to see what happens in the SPY because this is going to really kind of help us out here. We are able to catch this trend either on the upside or the downtrend. We're going to see what happens here with the SPY. If we could break out above the 402 or do we come back down towards the 400? We'll see what happens there. SPY flag. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say a flag. Flag is more like what you're seeing on Airbnb. So this is more of a flag pattern to me when you're getting this kind of downward trending action to the downside. So this is more of a flag to me. Why? Because I mean, you can just draw it out there. Usually the flag has that downward trend on the upside, and it's just a heavier slope than, let's say, kind of like let's try to find one. This is not it here. Let's try to see if I can find a pennant. I'm trying to find a pennant pattern here for us to show us a little bit of a difference here. This kind of is more of it, but I'm just going to leave it alone right now. I'll try to find one a little bit later to kind of show us the difference there. All right, guys, what do you guys got in the chat? What do you guys want to check on out? Midday breather. There is no breather. Let's keep it going. All right, let's go ahead and see what we got in the market and what can we trade. I want to get some trades on here, but the big thing for me is the SPY. What is going to happen with the SPY? If we push on above this, then maybe we can start taking a look here. And does Tesla finally kind of give us that breakout? It came back to be up one more time here. Going to pay attention to see if we're going to get back above or below and start taking some trades here. I bought some SPY puts here just for the insurance. Have a great week. So why not? Hey, Daniel, why not, right? Buy some protection. Why not? Give yourself a chance to make some money if it comes down. If not, you get out. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, let's go ahead. Let's see what's going on here. I want to see what someone stepped up in Tesla at 771, 22,000 shares there at 771 there. So I want to see if it gets back through that 771 and then we see that breakout. Lucid, guys, Lucid. You guys know my swing trade's been on. Are we going to get stopped out today? Right above that line. We're almost there. I know Happy's like, man, Mitch is going to get stopped out. But hey, if I get stopped out, it's okay. I'll be happy for you guys to have the bag, right? I mean, you guys get back a little bit closer to the green. I've already made some money on this one. So it's just how it goes, guys. Mara up there towards 1180s. It didn't really break the 12s. Gives me a little bit of an idea to get short again if I can see a big breakdown in the SPY, but we'll see what happens there. How's our Starbucks doing? Starbucks now up there to 74.33s. Could come back on down. And our bros, we made great money on yesterday through the VWAP. This one came on up there, held it. Now holding 28s. You could take a look at that. Palantir looking strong here. Looking like a more of a pennant pattern here, guys. So you can see here kind of the higher look. There's that trend there. It's not as sloped there. And one thing that you can draw here is you can draw a bottom line here. And so this is more of a pennant pattern here. And so another thing that I like to do is the rule of three, right? And so you got a one up here, one down here, two up move. Look for the two down move, up one, down one, up two, down two, up three. It needs to go to the trend line. This is a fake out right here. Fake out to the trend line. It doesn't go to the trend line. So you don't count that as an actual up move. So that still needs to be the down move here. And now it's just kind of snaking. It comes up here. Then what are we looking for? One more move to the support to hold. And so you can see here, it comes right back to that 810, which is now our third bottom. So one up, one down, two up, two down, three up, three down. As long as it can hold that support there, you're looking for a breakout through the trend on the upside there. And this is one of my favorite strategies. It's called the rule of three, mixing with a bullish pattern like, let's say, a flag pattern, an ascending triangle, something like that you can look for. And as long as it can hold the 810s now, I'd be looking for it to break through the high here, 820s, and get towards the 824s. We'll see what happens on Palantir. It's definitely one of my favorite patterns to go after. It doesn't look bad right here. All right, what's going on out there? I see a lot of stocks being mentioned in the chat. I'll try to get through some of these today and just keep rolling on through here. CELU. Let's take a look here. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I just want to see if we're going to get our traders to join us on up. Ready whenever, says my man. All right, sounds perfect there. I'm going to go ahead up and send the link here to Gianni. I'm going to try to get Gianni on with us and get us another trader's perspective today as we're going to keep going towards 12 p.m. today. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's go. Let's keep it going here. I got this trader that's going to be coming on. And if you guys don't know Gianni, he does some great work. He also is a part of our breakout letter. So, hey, stay on, guys. We'll be getting with Gianni in a second here. Taking a look at some of the stocks that you guys are talking about. So this is CELU, biotech stock, trying to keep pushing. And we just talked about it, XBI, right? How it's coming on back into favor here. Interesting one to look at. I'd be looking for a push above the 8 to hold. And you can see here how we came up in the pre-market and we rejected $8. Let's look for that $8 to hold here. You're starting to get some higher volatility, higher volume here, and it went to 803 just recently. So let's see if it can come back and actually close above that 8, not just wick up there. We'll see what happens there. Bernie talking about swing trade on Apple. I can't tell you which way to go, but hey, if you took the long side, I don't think you're mad today. You're up there towards 147. How's our SPY doing? Did we get another lift up? There you see another lift up there towards the 401.50s. We'll see if we can get to the 402s today. All right, FCX, not a bad one to take a long on today. I was seeing basic materials up today, and what was leading it? I saw aluminum, but copper's not too far behind there. 2.27, right off the VWAP there. It doesn't look that bad. I mean, if I probably wasn't going to go trade with Gianni, I might take a look at this one right now. But we'll talk with Gianni coming on here. Extended bull, we'll see. I mean, one of the things is we've been waiting to see if we did get a turnaround, and right now it's looking strong. If we take a look here, and we take a look at the hourly chart, you're going to see a little bit even more of this trend here. From the bottom to where we're at now, we're already up about on the SPY about 4.2%. So it's definitely been a nice little bounce back there in the SPY. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take my charts down. Let's keep it going with the interviews. Let's go ahead, sound the alarm, guys. It's going to be, of course, none other than Gianni joining us here. There's my alarm. Let's go. Sound that alarm there. What's going on, Gianni? How we doing?
Not much, man. Good. How are you?
Hey, time to keep the energy flowing through here. If the market wants to be quiet, I know I won't be. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look. And first things first, I think everyone's going to be talking about it today. I mean, if you turn on the TV, what are they going to be talking about? Let's just be honest. Is this the bottom?
Yeah.
All right. I'm sure everyone's out there is talking about it. Gianni, I know you're not one to maybe call the bottom, but what do you see in this market right now?
Well, I am more of a buy high, sell higher type of trader. So I like to play on the momentum, trades. However, the S&P 500 did achieve our downside objective in the $3,800, $3,900 area. We had that rounding top formation that was forming over the last few months. We broke decisively below that in the last few weeks here, and it had a downside target of 38, 3,900. So I think we hit a low of 38.55 in the cash market. But if this was not the low, we could see a drop as low as 35, 3,600. But I'll tell you what, Mitch, there is a lot of pessimism out there now. I'm seeing a lot of traders, throwing in the towel, saying, "Oh, I don't want to trade anymore. I'm done." This isn't the market of 2020 or 2021 anymore. Well, obviously it's not. In fact, 2020 was the exception. So this is actually more normal. You usually get, 1 or 2 10% corrections per year. And this year just happens to be, down more, especially the NASDAQ really being hammered, year to date. But I think it's more of a story. I was watching your previous guest on too, and, he was pretty adamant about that whole inflation. We're in a new macroeconomic regime, and the days of growth in tech outperforming are seemingly in the past, at least in the intermediate term. So what this is doing is creating a tremendous sector rotation in the market. And Mitch, you and I have been talking about this for months. The inflation trade that doesn't seem to be going away. And in fact, once we get to talking about some of our trade ideas, I'm still seeing a lot of strength in a lot of those consumer staples names. The stuff that consumers need to buy regardless of what type of situation the economy is in, your food stuff, your beverages, your toiletries. And I still like a lot of the energy trades as well. So, are we at a bottom? Maybe. There is still a little bit too much optimism or enthusiasm to buying the dip, but that doesn't mean the bottom is complete. I still think that this is more of a correction than a crash. If you look at even the length of this pullback, it's been going on for we peaked in January. So, we're on month 5 now. So that's not a crash. That's a correction. And, March of 2020, we fell, 40% in a month in the NASDAQ. So this is already, much, much better from that standpoint.
Yeah, definitely. I would say so too myself. This is what I was kind of expecting in the pandemic, to tell you the truth. Something like this, small leakage. And yeah, we did get that crash back down, but I was still even expecting to see more weakness into that. And we got more of what they call a V bottom, which I mean, let's just be honest, at least from what I've seen, that doesn't happen often, especially when you get crashing types of markets. It's usually been a little bit of consolidation down there. And that's why I'm okay with today. Like, it doesn't need to break through the lows or to kind of get bearish, but I would actually like to see some sideways action here. And give us a couple of days of sideways action versus give us like, a quick ramp back up, because to me, I mean, that could very much be what we saw earlier in the year, right? When we went up. Yeah. When we went up for like, I think it was like 8 straight days or something like that. We were closing on the upside. And then what ended up happening, we went back all the way to those lows. So I think this market has definitely been more of a run to your profits kind of market. I don't know if you've been seeing that, Gianni, but that's definitely the way that I've been trading a little bit better to kind of keep into the green, is running a little bit quicker to the profits.
Well, another thing too, the key resistance levels I'm looking at in the S&P, we had a really nasty gap down on Monday. And so short term, we have a key resistance level, 40.30, 41.30. If we clear that, we still won't necessarily be out of the woods by my analysis. But I do think if the S&P starts to close above 42.80, 43.20, that's the key resistance level in my view, because that would basically be, if you look at that, rounding top pattern that I talked about a moment ago, that is basically where support broke. So if we can get back above that former support turn resistance level around 42.80, 43.20, I think that's a pretty strong signal that a market low is complete. There are signs that downside momentum is waning as well. Here's the big enchilada, so to speak. Rising rates does not necessarily mean a bear market. And I think that gets lost in translation. Everyone's assuming that, there's an economic pullback on the horizon. Everyone's calling for a recession. I've seen calls for depressions. In fact, the yield curve is starting to steepen. So bond markets aren't really fully convinced on the recession narrative. Is inflation here to stay? Probably. I think there's a lot of supply chain issues that are going to keep at least prices elevated. Now, is the rate of ascent in inflation going to continue at current levels? I think probably not. I think it'll stabilize. But here in Michigan, for example, gas prices are around $4.50 a gallon in between. I think that could be the new normal. If we go sideways, you're still not going to get the relief. There was a time even when I was, a kid, that gas was like, $1.20 a gallon. We never saw that again. So I think it's going to be a period of adjustment. I don't think we'll ever be going back to those low, prices. But that's what happens, is you adjust and then wages catch up. Wages are known to be sticky in the short term. Unfortunately, I don't see a lot of employers, negotiating CPI raises, with their employees. But who knows? Maybe in this new inflationary world, there's an opportunity to make that type of negotiation into your compensation or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there was some people asking for raises going into this year with inflation going to the highs. And I mean, that's what we try to do, right? At least just not lose money. But I mean, that's the truth, is that even if you got, let's say, a 5% increase in your salary, you're still losing out to inflation right now. So we're going to keep on watch. And I do agree with you on that like when you talk about the consumer and you talk about the inflation that's showing up there, is that inflation going to go away quickly? No, the real inflation isn't going to go away quickly, guys. It's going to take a while to even see those prices even take a little step down, right? And one of the things that we see all the time is prices can go up, but very rarely do prices come down. Exactly. And that's the hard part of it. And that's just the reality of the economical times that I think we're in. And I think all families should kind of be kind of aware of this. And then if we're looking at it in investment terms, I just think at least the way that inflation's measured, and we can talk about that, year over year, you're going to get to a point where it's going to start looking like, at least in the levels that we look at in the market, it's going to show some topping. But it's going to take a little while to show up maybe at home.
Well, that's been probably the most frustrating thing about this inflationary environment that we're in is that, normally stocks are a hedge against inflation, but the NASDAQ was down over 25% year to date. So your cash is losing money at the bank. Bonds are going down because interest rates are going up. And stocks are going down because we're in a correction. So where do you put your money? I mean, realistically, unless you're, a commodities trader, but they've been volatile as well. So the fact of the matter is that it's been a really tough year to grow wealth for most people, unless you're a short-term trader. But let's face it, most people are not short-term traders. You don't have the ability to just jump in and out of positions. So that is really the challenge in this environment is, how much even in your long-term portfolio do you expose yourself to the commodity sector, which is, I think last week, as of my calculations, the performance spread between the XLE energy ETF and the communication sector XLC ETF, the top and worst performers year to date, it was a 60% performance difference. I mean, that is like make or break your portfolio type of performance difference, And so, yeah, it really is tough. And then, you see what's been going on in crypto too. So commodities have really been the only game in town. But fact of the matter is for like equity investors, there's really not that many ways to invest in it aside from like ETFs like DBC or DBA. But again, how much money are you really going to put into those, ETFs?
Definitely. I think it's something to keep on watch. To start getting into a little bit more of your trade ideas or maybe something that you're looking out there. What are you looking to start maybe dipping your toes in, Gianni? I mean, we're seeing a little bit of a push now. We're at 401.70s. Can we continue going in the overall market today? We've keep pushing at least today. I'll show you guys the SPY right quick there, guys. Trying to get through the high of the day there. High of the day right now is at 401.75. We're at 401.76. There you go. A little tick there. So we'll see if we can continue making this run. One area that I've been watching is, of course, is the ARKK, right? I mean, that's kind of like a good growth indicator there. And you can see here, all the stocks in Kathy's ETF green right now. So I know we haven't seen that often.
No.
So Gianni, what are you looking on out there? What's on your radar?
Well, I'm a big fan of relative strength, so I'm sticking with what's been working. A lot of the plays that I've picked up recently have been related to inflation or consumer staples. I picked up a position in SunOpta, STKL, yesterday, and I think they're a producer of oats, which is like the breakfast food. And we had a big breakout.
I love my oatmeal, man. I love my oatmeal.
Yeah. We surged higher. And I think we have a pretty significant reversal in trend unfolding here. It looks like we're breaking out of that rounding bottom. If we close above that, what is that key level there? That high from, was it like September? Right there, that high. What's that at?
We got 745.
Yeah, 745. So, we could test it today, but if we start to close above there, I think pretty much a rounding bottom is confirmed. And wouldn't be surprised to see the stock hit, $10, $11 per share.
Yeah, definitely. This one definitely got the volume that it needed on that first move. Changed from about 950,000 on the daily to about 4.1 million. So about 4 times the volume, 3 times the volume there. Not looking too bad at all. Definitely getting a little bit of a move on up. Let's take a look at the 15-minute here. You guys can see this has just been on a nice stair-stepping ladder on up. So a good one to mention there, STKL. What else we got?
So this other one is a little more of a defensive play. It's the ticker symbol is DHX. The company is DHI Group, and this is an unemployment agency company. So they help people find jobs.
What's the ticker again?
DHS, or excuse me, DHX. DHX. Yeah.
All right. There you go. Dice Holdings, is it?
No. Let me see. It's DH. The company's DHI Group.
DHI Group. All right, let's see.
Ticker symbol's DHX. That's interesting. That company came up like that.
Yeah, I have another one for DHX. I'm wondering here. Maybe if you want to share yours charts, maybe if you got it, then we can just do that.
I can pull it up real quick.
There you go. Just share screen for us there.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get my screen ready for you.
Hey! You see that, guys? I just tried to sneak one in there. Said, I want to see those Gianni charts.
All right. So let's see. Share screen. Can you see my screen?
I will put it up right now. There you go. We got it.
Beautiful. Okay, yeah. So DHI Group. Let me get a full quote so we can talk about the sector. It's listed as a consumer discretionary here on StockCharts.com. I don't think that's exactly right because I think it's more of a consumer staples type of play. Because again, it's a business training agency, an employment company. They help people find jobs, and you're starting to hear some preliminary rumors of higher layoffs maybe coming. Startups are starting to cut some people. So what I really like about this stock is the tremendous relative strength it's displayed over the last few months. I mean, you can make a case that this is a nice saucer pattern here, and we're about to close at a new multi-year high. Trading around $6.55. I really like how the RSI indicator during this consolidation never hit oversold levels. It's a pretty good sign that bulls never lost control of momentum in the stock. And if you peep down here, it's not really that easy to see, but we've seen some pretty good signs of accumulation as well. So wouldn't be surprised to see this one hit, $8 or so. But again, it's more of a defensive play because, I don't think that an unemployment company would be catching a strong bid like this one is if there wasn't going to be a higher demand for their services. So you can see here, I mean, this is like night and day compared to the S&P 500. I mean, this is a pretty strong uptrend. And these are the types of, relative strength plays that we need to look at when the market's pulling back if you want to be trading from the long side.
Definitely something to keep on watch. I've been hearing about that. More rumors and rumors coming in there with unemployment. And I think it's something to keep on watch because I think that's what everyone's been watching to see if we are going into that dirty R word recession. Is if we start getting some layoffs and extreme layoffs, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will start pointing towards that. But interesting one to watch there. DHX there. So we'll see what happens there. Do we got one more maybe?
I do. Good
look at that.
Good old Teddy Brewskis.
All right, before you give the view on that, I want to get some likes there, guys. We're giving you guys some good stuff here, guys. Like for my man Gianni here. Definitely smash up those likes. Can we get to 600 today? We got 452 likes, over 600 people there. We had over 1,000 people here today, so definitely smash up the like, guys. Let's keep it going. All right, Gianni, what else do you got for us?
So good old Teddy Brewski Company, Molson Coors.
The core is a tap out.
Yeah,
or tap in.
I think I'm going to start tapping in eventually. Hey. We'll tap out. But we're looking at a weekly chart here, and consumer staples. Let's face it. Even if there's a recession, people aren't going to stop drinking beer. There was a joke I saw on Twitter the other day. It was a guy was going to the checkout at a liquor store, and he had a case of beer, and he asked the clerk, he said, "Hey, did the price of this go up?" And the clerk said, "Yeah." And he went and he bought another case of beer for that reason, because beer is not going to expire, right? As long as you keep it refrigerated.
Hey.
This is something, you can stockpile, and you don't have to pay taxes on the gain of the higher beer, bottles or cans. But
gotta get around our inflation by both.
Yeah, exactly. So on this Molson Coors, what's really interesting to me is it looks like we are coming up to test multi-year resistance in that $60 to $62 area. If we clear there, I think we're starting a new bull run on this stock. And, I'm looking at the weekly chart. I want to pivot to the monthly real quick before I show you the daily, because I think it's a big story here. I think we had a pretty significant low. You wouldn't really think that a beer company would be in a correction for basically 5 years between 2016 to 2020. But I think it's coming out of that correction right now, and it looks, poised to have a new run at the high. So, let's zoom in and look at the daily time frame here. And what I like about, this Molson Coors is we have a nice ascending channel here. And, we're seeing higher highs and higher lows, a very clean uptrend. The trend is your friend, as they say. So long as TAP stays within this channel, the path of least resistance remains higher. But the big test for me, Mitch, is going to be around the $60 area. If it clears 60, I think look out above. I wouldn't be surprised to see it have a go at its all-time high.
Yeah, I won't blame you on that one either. I've been watching this one since when we just pushed above the 55. Then we
Yeah.
pulled on back there, and then we pushed back through there. I like how it's holding now, any pullbacks to 50s. So it looks interesting now. I definitely have pointed at this one too. So I might be tapping in with you, Gianni. We might have to get a keg and tap it, and then the next thing you know, go into tap. But I was watching Sam's for a little while, but I haven't seen too much movement in that one. I've been
Sam's
seeing
Club?
a little bit of botting. Yeah, well, Sam, Boston beer.
Oh, Boston beer, yeah.
Yeah, to kind of keep an eye on the beer. What can I say? I got my eye on some beer right here, but
Yeah.
I did see that nice candle we put in there at the 330s. I would like to see Tap lead the game, right? And then I'd maybe be looking at Sam. And you know how we love looking at our industries. Once we start seeing them really start moving, we're going to take a look to see if we get some other players to move here. But if you also take a look at Bud, you see bottoming also there. BUD, Anheuser-Busch here. You see the 55 bottoming out there. I was looking for maybe if this was going to push into 60 because last time it was looking like it wanted to get up there. That's going to be a level that I'd be watching on Bud, is that if we could get through the 60s, we see Tap breaking up through there. We see Sam finding some bottoming action. Who knows, man? Maybe we start popping some kegs open, and Gianni and I are making some money on beer. So we'll see what happens there. Definitely something to keep on watch. And I mean, one of the things that's coming, right, is summertime, right? Maybe some seasonality coming into this beer play.
Yeah,
We'll
like
see
your
what
summer
happens.
shandies and whatnot, you know?
You can't go wrong, man.
Yeah.
Definitely going to go ahead and take a look. Last thing I want to leave off with is, how can people learn more about what you do, Gianni? And you do a lot. So, I mean, you can go ahead and take some time here. Let everybody know how they can find you, how they can find what you're doing, and maybe be a part of it so that they can go ahead and learn some more.
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks, Mitch. So the easiest way to find me is at Benzinga Premium. We have a chat room. That's where we called out that SunOpta trade yesterday. And that's, you know, I'm in the chat pretty much all day. If I'm away from my desk, it gets sent to my phone. So always have access to what's going on in the market. But, you know, if you want, more periodic trade ideas and you don't want to be in the chat room, we have the Benzinga breakout series as well. And then, we have my original operation, www.themercator.com. We do a monthly macro letter there as well called the Mercator letter. But I'm more active with Benzinga. So if you want more frequent action, that's definitely the place to get it. And the chat room is the best place because you get, faster trade ideas, more timely entries. You get more trade ideas in addition to what I share, on the monthly, weekly, and, multiple times per week intervals. And, if there's a stock that's starting to go against us, you'll be, you have the opportunity to be stopped out even sooner. So basically, we're managing risk more effectively because we have the more frequent communication, and then we have better trade ideas. And a lot of times, there's been some traders in that room that have been with me for almost a year now, and now they're starting to learn the methodology and sending me great trade ideas. So that's the big thing, is I want you to earn while you learn. And they are really starting to get the methodology, and they're picking these great stocks, and they're like, "Hey, have you seen this?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't, but let's buy it because it looks like it's starting to move." And then also do I just started doing the Benzinga crypto newsletter as well. So
nice.
The weekly and the monthly ones as well. So that's going to be an interesting sector to analyze going forward and to trade. I think it's going to be a lot of short-term mean reversions. But once it does stabilize, I think there's going to be a tremendous opportunity in that space as well. So crypto isn't going anywhere. My only concern when it comes to crypto is, I liken it to the .com bubble of 2000. When that bubble burst, everyone incorporated tech. All these businesses and individuals incorporated tech into their lives throughout the 2000s. But it took NASDAQ over a decade to recover. And that's why managing risk is so important. And that's what we hammer the table on in these chat rooms and other things. We always give you trade ideas with the stop loss. We want you to get out, because if we're wrong, there's always a line in the sand where we know we're wrong. And we're not smarter than the market. And we want to avoid situations like TerraCoin or that basically went from over $100 to pennies in a matter of weeks. So
yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye out. I've been watching Bitcoin. I've been talking about how just have your levels. At least for me, I know that I missed a 20K buy breakout when we went up there towards the 60. And so I always said, hey, when we get back to 20K is when I'll look at it. Sometimes you got to wait for your opportunity. You got to be patient. And I think that, it's not to call Bitcoin down, but just be patient. A lot of the times pays a lot better than just being eager to the move, because that's a lot of the times how you get yourself into trouble. I think Gianni would agree with that. Just being patient a little bit, and maybe sometimes even piecing together positions. I think that's too often not spoken about in a free commission environment.
Yeah.
There's no need to put all the position in one level, right? I see that often. And one of the things that people don't realize is, you think the algos are putting it all in one level?
No, absolutely not.
Hell no,
For a
man.
fact they're not.
We know that one for sure. And so we got to learn a little bit about that. Why we would want to do that? Because sometimes you are going to get a little bit of price slippage through levels. And that gives you an opportunity to get it at a discount versus, of course, is putting it all into one level. So I think that's what I'm watching now. Just to kind of mention, I've mentioned it with a producer of mine also. They've been looking at it and talking about it. I saw when Bitcoin went from 20K back down to 3,000, and that was about an 86% decline, right? And so if we go 86% decline from the 60,000, where do we get to? We get around 9,000 level. And so to me, I mean, hey, if we can come back down below 20K, going towards that 10K, it's not going to be a bad level for me to take a shot at least.
That's happened twice before, in fact, Mitch. So yeah, there is
exactly.
precedent.
There you go. There's the precedent, right? And a lot of times I've been seeing kind of more of that 2 to 4 year cycle playing into Bitcoin. And I know that you see it too. So we'll definitely keep this on watch. And I mean, it's all about opportunity. I think that's important here, and giving yourself a chance to potentially make some good money, but also keeping in mind, like Gianni said, risk management comes first, guys, like always.
It's the only way to last in this business, Mitch. You know that.
No, trust me, it definitely is. I mean, we had people talk about blowing up in earlier on live trades and stuff like that, and options. And the truth of the matter is that survival comes first. Little profitability. Then you really start saying, okay, there you go. Now I know what edge really means in this game, and not just giving back, taking some, giving back, taking some, but actually learning how to kind of really keep that alive, keep it going. I think it's important. Thank you, Gianni, for joining us like always. Guys, check it on out. I threw the link up in the chat so you guys can go ahead and join on up. I'll see you next time, Gianni, and thank you for coming on, man.
Pleasure as always, Mitch. See you soon.
Pleasure. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the overall market. What are we seeing out there? We got about 5 minutes to the Vegas. Yes, FinTwit conference is going to get started, guys. Rally horn, rally horn. Where's my Chewbacca's? Where's my Chewbacca's in the chat? Let's go. Let's go. Let's get excited. Let's turn this on up, guys. It's time to make some money. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. Let's go. What are we seeing on out there, guys? Starting to see Tesla come on back through the level, guys. Do we take it through the VWAP here for the breakout? Should we scalp a little bit here? I'm taking a look at it there. SPY. Let's take a look at the SPY now. It's trying to get through that 401, get to the 402s. We could see continuation come in through there. Names like ENPH up at the top there. Wind turning around a little bit. LVS, though, trying to push back up. So maybe we play wind here on the reversal back on up, but we'll take a look here. What else is being moving today? Let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. Technology is now up 3.44% from the open. Definitely seeing a little bit of push there, and got to have the Floyd Rock. Let's keep it going, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Gianni. There you go. I see some love in the chat. Let's keep it going here, guys. We got about, what do you got? 4 minutes left here until we get towards the FinTwit conference. I'm excited to get into that. Taking a look to see if we start taking off here in Tesla. AMD having a great day up there, guys. So if you guys are playing AMD, there you have it. That's what you wanted to see, some nice bottoming action by that 90 level. Now I'm going to be trying to maybe get in on this one towards 92s and 93s. But right now, AMD straight up on an uptrend on the 15-minute. You can see there. Really good day there for AMD. NVIDIA about the same thing, right? Straight on up there. So we're looking good here in these Q names and also the tech names. I mean, it's been a great day there. Lucid almost stopping me out there, guys. If we get one more rip up, we'll probably get stopped out, at least for my swing trade on the downside. But that's not going to really shake me too much, guys. It's all about sticking to the plan there, and we'll see what happens there. Melly coming on back today. And how's our Amazon? Amazon up there towards 22.36. This one looks interesting for me as it's starting to come back on up there. Of course, you would have to use a 2,000 level, but it doesn't look too bad there on Amazon. All right, what are y'all buying and planning to sell on Monday? Hey, that could very much be it, right? Are these kind of swings towards Monday? We could see that. I'm not going to take too many swings into Monday on the long side, but it's always up to you guys, right? Determine what you guys like. If you guys like taking some swings, hey, always just understand your levels, understand your outs and ins, and understand that no one can really tell you a trade is wrong because no one knows where a stock's going to go. Now, the one thing you want to do is stick to a strategy and stick to a process so you have some method to the madness, and then that way you can go ahead and look to end up in the green. And like always, there's no guarantee. Let's go, Red Drum. Let's keep it going. All right, let's take a look at some of these stocks. Palantir up today. Yes, up there towards the 824. There's a huge gap towards the upside, right? If we can get into that gap here, to that zone, now we're already touching into that. Now, do we fill this gap? That would be a big move on up. We're talking about a 14.5% move, 15% up in Palantir. It could go ahead and fill that gap. Let's take a look at the daily. You can see here that gap here. Let's see if it starts filling. Last time we saw this stock gap down, it did fill the gap on the upside. You can see here, gap down, and then draw to the side. Look how this goes up and fills it again. So we're going to look for the same thing here in Palantir for it to come back down, gap down, then coming clearing it back up there towards the 10. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some other names here. TCM, Jennifer bringing in here, TCM. Don't know this one, so let me go ahead and let me get it up here. I don't have that one. I don't know why, Jennifer, but if you can provide me the company name, maybe I can find it for you. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look here at Tesla. Tesla setting on up, but still no move. Still no move there. It's been sideways here, trying to set up for a breakout above that. 15-minute level has nice higher lows. Let's look for this trend to continue. If that can happen, then maybe we can get a push back to 774s. All right, guys, that's going to probably do it for me. It's 11:59, guys. I've been going literally for over 5 hours, guys. Over 5 hours I've been live for you guys. Please, guys, smash the like, guys. Hit the like button. Support us as we do this every single day live. Can we get to 500? I need 17 more likes before we go. But it's 12 o'clock, and it's time. Sound the alarm. Sound the alarm. It's time for the FinTwit conference. I'm going to get you guys on over. This will go ahead and transfer on over. One thing I will let you know is there's 2 streams here, guys. 2 streams for the FinTwit conference. Find one to learn from. Find the other to probably maybe just keep a little eyes on that. You could put them both up if you want, really. Find what works for you. Find someone that teaches to your style. I think you'll find something in this FinTwit conference. And if you don't, please let me know, because that's what it's all about, giving you guys the value back. So we'll see you guys at the FinTwit conference. Stay right here. You don't got to go anywhere. And let's keep it going right here on Benzinga. This will go until 7 p.m., guys. Let's go. Let's go. Sound the alarm. Let everybody know where they can be learning from today. And it's right here on Benzinga. Check.